Had to get my rest before I come fuck with y'all, man. How everybody, man? But the disease had only begun to. Oh yeah, we up in here. Let me cut off this motherfucker forensic files and get my black ass to the tape. Come kick it with y'all, cause some shit that went down and we gotta talk about. Okay? We gotta talk about. So I hope y'all strapped in. Let's do it. So, what the fuck? I know y'all here. Let me go to, because YouTube be fucking with me. So, in Lake Monroe, Indiana, it was some white supremacists trying to lynch a black man. Shouts out to Stevie J. I didn't know nothing about it. Stevie, the one that sent me the video on Instagram, like, Visa, you got to check this bullshit out here. I'm like, what happened, brother? He like, man. Oh shit, True Royal is on. And she got niggas wearing makeup. She got Donald Trump wearing makeup. What the hell? Okay, so maybe she won't be coming through. True Royal got Donald Trump wearing makeup. I knew that nigga was moist. Knew that nigga was moist than a motherfucker. Nigga was extra moist. But yeah. So, Lake Monroe, Memphis. Damn, yeah, ain't nobody. It's people in here. Just don't show it on this shit. Nigga was extra moist. Anyway. So it's a bunch of peckerwoods in Lake Monroe, Indiana, right? Bunch of racist, white supremacist rednecks. They catch this black man walking by himself in the woods, and they jump on him. What's up, Naja? What's up, Swallow? And they jump on him. And where the video starts, you see people on top of him, prone on top of him, holding him down, and he's trying to wrestle away. Some white people who just so happen to be walking through catches it and cuts on their camera and tell them to stop. And, oh shit, let's just look at it. Fuck. Let me cut this. I don't know why I did that. I have no idea why I did that. So let's look at the joint. Cause yeah, now let's look at this joint. What's up with all y'all? Mark Wonderlist. What's up, TH? What's up, y'all? This shit is crazy. So yeah, Stevie sent me this shit. And I was like, y'all know Steve is sending you some crazy shit sometimes. Got nothing to do with nothing. But this one right here, Stevie was on point. And I had to gather my thoughts. So we're gonna look at this as a family. And y'all tell me. Y'all already know the problems I probably had. This is that shit Mark Wonderlist think he gonna get me down Utah, do that shit to me. I'm shooting, Mark. and the rest of them. It's that shit Mark Wonderlist think he gonna get me down in Utah, do that shit to me. I'm shooting Mark. And everybody else too to try that shit. Don't try that shit.
They saw me in some way.
Sorry, let me stop playing, Mark. You know I'm fucking with you, Mark. I'm trying to get the best one. I'm trying to get the best one.
We're just trying to get out of here, guys. We're just trying to get out of here. Let him go, dude. Let him go. Let him go. Please, let him go. Please let him go. We're going to as soon as you let him go. I'm going to. Let him go. Let him go. Shake your head at me. Let him go. Get the fuck out. Go. I know. I know. Just like you guys are begging us. You guys are begging us. We were having a great time. No one invaded you, stupid fucking liberal fucks. That's what you get. Take your ass on. What's on? Are you okay? Oh yeah. In a Star Wars. You're worse than the police. You're totally worse than the police. The police would be your problem. Are you happy about this?
That bitch said we totally worse than the police. That bitch said we totally worse than the police. That bitch said we will kill you. That bitch said fuck the police. Police ain't shit compared to what we will do to you, nigga. She was telling them white folk, we totally worse than the police. Actually, you right on par with the police.
What do you really want to call me?
You nappy-headed bitch.
What do you want to call me?
About this? You with your 5 white friends? You happy with your 5 white friends? You guys started all this. Fuck you. Put it in your fucking film, bitch. Film it all. Fuck you. Come over here, man. Film it.
This sucks. This sucks. Most whack, guys.
This sucks.
No.
That's a but look. I have so many problems with this video. One of which my biggest problem is the Vol Booker guy. He seems like a straight up dork. What the fuck was you doing out there by yourself? Hold on. What was you doing out there by yourself, homie? With no weapon. Hey, he was out that jump like Ray Lewis. No weapon. shit get you killed. You can't be running around. No, nah. You see, he just learned something. I just thought about that, y'all. Hey, Lisa.
Hey, how you doing?
Lisa, what's up?
What up?
I'm good.
Good.
Hey, Lisa.
Yeah.
So the man running around in the woods like damn, he running around the woods like Ray Lewis with no weapon. Oh Lord, no weapon.
First of all, what Negro goes in the woods with a whole bunch of white folk? Okay, you know what their history is. Them motherfuckers. I wouldn't go. Look, I wouldn't even go on. I wouldn't go nowhere where I'm the only black person. Let's just put it that way.
Right.
Hey, Tareen, are you there?
I'm here.
Hey,
what's going on?
What's up, T?
Man, he had to be out of his mind to go up in some woods with a bunch of white folks.
Right. That shit bothered me. I was like, well, first of all, why do these white folks have to save you? You shouldn't be in there by yourself with no gun, no nothing.
Yeah.
Now, you know, the first thing I thought about y'all too. Because this is proof, ain't it, y'all? What we just saying? This proof that all these people, black people we find in the tree, it ain't coincidence.
Right. Mm-hmm. And there's a reason why it's never caught on camera. They know exactly where to take you, where this shit ain't picked up on no camera anywhere around. They know what
exactly.
And the other thing to basically they know what they doing. I noticed, like y'all say, not only was it no camera, check it out. It was no bruises on this dude. It was really no bruises on this dude. So when they talk that stuff like, oh, well, it didn't look like he was in a confrontation, so we're gonna call it suicide. If them white folks just didn't happen to walk up, they would have said this nigga committed suicide.
Right. But you know, in many cases, bruises don't show up on us because of our melanin. It'll be there, but it's underneath the skin and it never rises up to the surface. That's why so many people walk around and say, well, I don't bruise. Actually, we all do. It's just that because we are melanated, those bruises may not always show up on the top layer of the skin. That's all, but it's there.
Right, because we are darker people. So when I first saw this, when he sent me this, I was like, man, what is this shit here? So then he sent me a clip that some young girl put up with all the information on it. So basically, every bit of information about who these guys are. Yeah. I'm gonna see if I can get it up. Hopefully I can.
Hello, shalom to everybody in the chat. I see y'all over there. All right.
Yeah, so they shit killed me because I looked at it, I said, hold on. Why in the world ain't nobody called these people? So I called the people. I called the Lake Monroe and on their answer service, first of all, because that's all you're gonna get is the answer service, they will not answer the phone.
Mm-hmm.
Because people blowing that phone up.
Now, yeah, so they won't answer that. And the first thing it said, Torin, is, oh, if you want to know about that, if this is about the incident, they passing the buck.
Yeah.
So then you call those people, and they say, oh, we're aware of the incident. But nobody's telling you if they're arrested or not.
Right. I don't think nobody did get arrested. LVZ. I don't
Me neither.
Did.
Right. And
That's
the guy,
that's just like the one. That's just like the story I just did about the boy down in South Carolina on the boat.
yeah,
I did see that one. Mm-hmm.
The one is Elijah Weatherspoon. He was like the only black guy on the boat, and then all of a sudden they came back and he wasn't there. So they claimed he drowned, even though his family said he was a good swimmer. I said they killed him. Yeah, but then they said they're not going to. They said they're not going to investigate it. Like that's what came out of the police mouth from that county. They said they are refusing to investigate it. Like they just talking it up to the boys. They just and the thing is, all the people on that boat gave a different story. The only thing that was in common with each story is saying that he drowned.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So, you don't know what condition he was in when he went in that water. He could have already been unconscious or dead.
Right. Probably. So he might have been dead in the water. Dead when they threw his ass in the water.
Yeah.
That shit is crazy. These people, see, they want us to fall for that dumb shit all the time. Look, we don't know what happened. He drowned. He drowned. When the last time a nigga on a boat full of white people jumped in the water when it wasn't slavery?
Right. And not only that, first of all, suicide ain't our thing. So when they come with suicide stuff, it's just bull. And then to add insult to injury, they're sitting there talking to you like they know your family member better than you. And you know damn well if somebody was suicidal in your family, and if this person been around you every day since they've been alive, never showed no signs of suicide, but some white cop gonna sit in your face and tell you your family member was suicidal and hungry.
Yeah, this nigga ain't never seen him with that. He was depressed, huh? I saw him the other day. He was playing Xbox, happy than a motherfucker. You telling me he depressed?
They gonna tell you what your relative was, how they felt, why they committed suicide. They got the whole story. They know your family better than you. Come on. You would have to be crazy to believe anything these folks say.
Right. They still keep trying to tell you Sandra Bland hung herself for a traffic ticket.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
She was so depressed about a traffic stop. She hung herself?
No.
Come on, man. Look, these every lynching needs to be looked into after this. I'm just noticing they not talking that much about it.
Yeah, well, see, they weren't supposed to get caught. See, that's
exactly.
And see, the black man was not supposed to live.
But most importantly, Lisa, like you said, it wasn't supposed to be seen. We actually seen it. Mm-hmm. Like, we literally saw in 2020 almost a Jim Crow style lynching before our eyes, like a real actual one almost be carried out.
Right.
And not to the point where it was just accusations of one. They can't see the thing is they're not going to talk about it because one, they weren't successful. Two, they got caught. And three, they can't say, oh, it was an attempted suicide. Right. Like they usually do with everything else. That completely blows all their narratives, their usual talking points out the water. That's why they're not going to talk about it so much. I don't know how long this particular story is going to stay in the news, to be quite honest. I don't think it's going to make it through the rest of this month.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot, I ain't even see it in the news. I told you, Stevie J sent it to me on my DM in my Instagram. And I just happened to last time I missed both. It was a link and I looked at it. And then when I seen the phone number, it said these people tried to lynch a man and they had their names and a bunch of telephone numbers to call their jobs.
Right.
Come to find out their jobs is, look, I'm going to tell y'all now, calling their jobs, I mean, you can try, but it's saying like they hired by white supremacists.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think that whole area in general is because look, Indiana has like the Klan in Central America, in the central part of the country.
Right. So what I saw, when I saw when I seen that, I thought about that truck driver. Y'all remember the truck driver in Indiana that they had caught, that they had found with his hands behind his back, hung up in the back of the trailer.
Yeah.
He was hung, and they called it a suicide.
Suicide. You know, it's all suicide, so there's no investigation.
Right. So, and Tori, what you just said was profound. Was that a modern day version of lynching? It had everything, even the screaming mob and the smiling women. I mean, really, folks, they lynching. I'm bringing this up because I told somebody that they was laughing. I had Black Fight Fan TV laughing about this. Tori and Lisa, y'all calm down, man. This is gonna be a weird story. A week ago, I took 13 black men on a fishing trip, Lisa. 13. I did it because y'all know I do my little driving job, my driving contract job. So a brother called me, said, man, we going on a fishing trip. We heard you a great driver. Can you drop us off out here, way out in Maryland? We gonna go fishing. I was like, damn, I ain't never heard of this part of Maryland, so I know it's a lot of white folks out here. He started laughing.
What part of Maryland was it?
It was like Rock Point, Maryland, or Rock Hole, Maryland, some shit like that.
The only rock part of Maryland I know is Rockville.
Nah, this out Eastern Shore, Tori, and so you know it's racist.
Oh,
we got out there. So look, all we saw, Lisa, was LGBT flags on every motherfucker other porch. Then we saw like one Biden flag, but then we seen like a truck. So I said, well, yeah. So look, I pick these 13 black men up, and I'm riding with them, and I realize, and when they meeting up in my home part of town in DC, at Southwest Tory, and I see one man come with a cut-off t-shirt with his stomach showing with some suspenders on, and another man with his arm around him. And I'm like, oh, fuck. It was 13 gay black men going on a fishing trip. And man, wow. I was like, ain't this a bitch? Of course I have to drive them. I'm going to be professional because I ain't tripping. They all black still. You know, that's their thing. Long as they don't do nothing extra moist, I'm cool. We was cool till them niggas tried to touch the radio, Lisa. They think I'm riding all the way. I'm not driving for an hour and a half. Okay, I drive a van full of gay black men on a fishing trip, no problem. But I won't be listening to Beyonce or Mary when I'm driving them. It won't be a radio.
Oh, man.
How did I know you was gonna say Beyonce? Because you know that's their go-to artist right there.
You know, LBZ, you might have heard of this place. This is like back in the day when I was dating this guy that I knew. You know, we were childhood friends and we dated for a while. And he was like, have you ever been to Rehoboth Beach? That's in Delaware. Man, it is loaded in LGBTQ. That's all that's down there. You know, and it's a very white area in Delaware. And he was like, you want to go there? I said, do you know about this place? Because I knew about it. And when he found out, he was like, oh, hell no, we ain't going down there. We're not going. Yeah. When you go to Delaware, you know, a lot of people will talk about going to Rehoboth Beach. Rehoboth Beach is LGBTQ. Big time.
Damn.
Yeah.
And look, we up there, right there by the Eastern Shore, Lisa. So you know we wasn't too far from Delaware.
Yeah.
Man, the white folks saw them. They wasn't even tripping when they seen all. I said, yeah. I said, what a good. So they went out on the boat to go fishing with them, Lisa. And when the boat pulled off, I laughed my ass off. I said, well, good thing is they all in shape. So it's going to be hard to throw them 13 gay men off.
Yeah, right?
Well, yeah, I looked at that shit. I said, they smart too, though. Because when we got to that town in Eastern Shore, like I said, it was super. Well, really, I want to go ahead and put this out here. If you live near a beach town in America, 9 times out of 10 is predominantly white, and all the industries around it is run by white people.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. Like all like you gotta think like all those places that have like those nice beach houses are pretty much all owned and like inhabited by white people.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
if you see a black person there, they probably visiting or they there vacationing with them.
Yeah, they usually will rent them out for the summer, so you can stay for the week for like $600 and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But the ones here in New Jersey that were they got swept away during Hurricane Sandy. All them damn houses got ripped off the foundation, and the average, I think, at that time before Sandy in New Jersey, if you wanted a beachfront house, it was like $2 million minimum.
Hey,
$2 million minimum.
That was the Most High saying, motherfucker, you don't own none of this. Watch this.
Yeah, Sandy took all that shit out. In fact, it was one town by the shore. It ripped out, I think, 11 blocks of houses got swept into the ocean. People came back and their house was gone.
Right. We don't respect your motherfucking land rights. Fuck that. See, that was looking. I noticed that shit though, Lisa. I've been to a lot of like beachfront, seaside towns where you go fishing, just fishing so much with my father. When we went to North Carolina, all white racist ass town. Where we just went and Eastern Shore, all white racist. We're Eastern Shore basically, all white racist. Like you said in Delaware, I've been to one of them beaches before. All white racist in a motherfucker. In New Jersey, all white and racist. Go around motherfucker Ocean City, Maryland. You'll find more Klan members on the way there than you'll ever find.
Yep.
And don't none of us be running the boating industries. We don't run none of the fishing. We don't have any fishing tours. None of that. And everywhere I go, I know. I said, why is it always so good?
If you remember, it was, I think, like a summer or two ago, it was a group of black women that decided to come on a beach in New Jersey, and them racists called the cops. I said, I don't understand how they didn't research that shit before they chose that beach. I could have told them not to go there.
That's what I'm trying to say. So when we go to these little areas like these wooded areas, black people don't live in wooded areas. If you one of these nature motherfucking black people, nature nerd black people, okay, more power to you. But make sure you go in a group.
Right.
You can't be the only nature person in your clique. Somebody else got to fuck with. You go in a group.
And not only that, do that for your kids too. Okay, if your kids got friends and they got some sleepover at their house, your kid the only black child there. No.
Exactly. And it can't be your kid and your best friend kid. It's got to be at least 2 more black kids you don't know that's gonna be there.
Right.
You do not let your kid have no sleepover if you want. Oh no, they're a good white family. Okay, well it should be more black kids at that white girl house than it is white kids. And if it's not, don't send your damn son.
Exactly.
Or daughter. Look, my brother OJ sent my nephew. My godmother, I was his parents. I called them my parents too. So he sent him out that joint. He called me back. He said, "Bro, where you at?" I said, "Shit, I'm in the house." He was like, "No, I was saying if you was working. My car messed up. My dad is out here. I sent little man out there to go quarantine. Mom and dad got him outside riding bikes with white kids. Fuck no. Go get him now."
Mm-hmm. But you notice how his alleged friends stayed on code out in that woods, did you? Not one of them stood up and fought.
Because they really wasn't his friends. They were some people who walked in on it. And they were just, I did some research. Them people didn't even know him, Lisa.
Yeah.
They were
strangers. Yeah, they were strangers.
Yeah, they were complete strangers. That's why
because you notice they didn't say his name. Like they never called out his name or anything like that.
No, they didn't.
They ain't know him at all. I ain't gonna lie, these were some good Samaritan white folks. They saw something, They cut their cameras on and they said, look, we ain't leaving till you let them go. We ain't going nowhere till you let them go. And you heard what the white dude said to him. Look, stop saying, all right, just shake your head at us and leave.
Yep. I'm surprised he didn't come out and say N-word lover.
Right, because the way, if you look at it, at first he was mad at the white folks for getting him.
For imposing, yep.
Yeah, for imposing. He said, you intruded and invaded on us. Then he said, shake your head and just leave. That was poignant to me because I was teaching Jay Bars about Emmett Till yesterday, y'all. And I was trying to show him how many other people was involved other than the people who killed. And how some people now say, oh, that was terrible, but all they did was shook their head and just left.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know if you picked this up or not, Lisa or VZ, but if you notice in the video towards the end, if you heard some heavy breathing, I think that was him breathing, trying to gasp for air. So that lets me know they probably already had him in a submissive hold to the point where they was probably cutting off his air.
Mm-hmm.
Like, go back and listen to it. You can hear him breathing. If you can listen to it, you can hear like some heavy breathing.
Yeah.
And I think that was him.
When you cut it on, see, they got him. I already see. They got him in the chokehold. They got him bent over. That's why you don't really even see him in the first scene or one. He's just bent over. They're on top of him. I said, oh, they either had that motherfucker in a wrestling hold, or had him in a chokehold, or had him some kind of way bound, held his big ass up. And when the girls and the dudes saw him, they had him wrestle down. They're like, the fuck you doing?
Yeah.
But this should serve as a warning and also as proof to everybody. All these black men is running around hanging in trees ain't a coincidence.
No.
Mm-hmm.
And protect yourself if you're gonna be in some boondockish area.
Look, they lynched that one dude right across from City Hall.
Right.
Like
protect yourself.
No cameras. And I said, who would know no cameras are there? Them damn police officers. I don't care what nobody say. That if you check out the background of a lot of these people, they are cops doing this stuff.
That's called a segue, what you did, sis. I'm glad you brought that up because that's going to bring me to the next topic. 4th of July, been a lot of murders in the middle of COVID season. And people still marching. Lisa, thank you for doing that video because I was telling people that too. I was like, I know they're not showing it on TV, y'all, but people still protest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a very strategic move done by the media to not focus on these protests that's still happening. So now they're saying all these kids have died this 4th of July weekend. I know here in DC, we had an 11-year-old get caught in a crossfire and he was killed. They said 8-year-old girl got hit. A few children, black children, have been getting killed. Now, my condolences and sympathy to those families. And that's horrible. And I hope whoever did that, them motherfuckers get punished to the fullest extent of the law because hurting the kid, to me, for real, that should be one of the first things to give you the death penalty.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Now, with that being said, I'm getting tired of black people coming on TV talking about we got to stop the violence in our neighborhood when we don't know who the fuck did it.
Exactly.
Right.
Okay, I've watched every city and state that one of these little kids have died. I watched Keisha Lance Bottoms come on. This is terrible. Now this bitch just watched. Right. Now this bitch just watched on TV two officers in her state shoot a man in the back. This bitch watched in TV former officers chase a man down in her state and kill him and nothing happened. This bitch just watched in her state a dude just gave the police his ID, complied, sat there and told him, look, I approve what you say. Just come call my sister. He gets suplexed and his ribs broke. And she gonna say, we got video in her state of white folks doing a drive-by on a bunch of black people and they ain't never caught them yet. But she can say that we need to stop the violence in our community because she can say with utmost certainty that the people who did this were black. Huh?
Don't forget, like last month, she got on TV and basically made those very harsh statements subliminally because she didn't say black people, but she might as well had. When it came to the protesting, like when they bashed the windows through the CNN building and like spray painted it and everything like that. And the way she was talking, she made it seem like it was just black people out there. I said, y'all need to look at that cameras again because the main people that was in front was white people.
Right. Just like when we saw everything jump off in Minneapolis, who did we see? White people vandalizing buildings. White people white people looting. That's what we saw.
And notice this. I'm glad you brought up Minneapolis. Notice they never talk about the white guy who set the precinct on fire.
Nope.
I think I was one of the only people that talked about it. Like no mainstream media talked about him.
While they continue to show pictures of black people standing up in front of the burning precinct, like as if they did it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really, but that seriously is getting frustrating, y'all. I watched 3 different states of news, and all of them blame black people. But look, then they start trying to harp on the police, and I said, well, goddamn. It seems to me the police should be ridiculed too. If they so great, how in the fuck are they helping? And okay, I'll say black people did do it for the benefit of the doubt. Now, can't we agree that if you can't trust the people who's supposed to stop that, how is that ever going to stop?
Yeah, it won't.
So there's no way black people should be talking about anything but about police. They should say, if it was me, I'd be on TV. This is horrible what happened to my family. But this is more proof, man, about the police. Look, they never there when we need them. And now we need them the most. I guarantee this goes unsolved. But if this was a white person, they'd be kicking down every door, busting heads, using shit that I ain't even know they had the technology to have to find that one black man.
Mm-hmm.
And see, the thing is, like going back to Chicago, and I called this back probably around Memorial Day. I said, watch, when 4th of July roll around, they're going to have another story that's similar to this one. And sure enough, It worked like clockwork. I said Labor Day is probably like the next big holiday where they're going to do it again. And I said they have all these shootings that happen, but they still have no suspect. Yeah. Now, there was a story that came out of Chicago. Willie D did a video on it. Harvey spoke about it, I think, last night. And I'm going to do one about it. I think I'll upload it probably tomorrow. Where you had this guy who was like 19, black guy, who shot and killed these 2 teens because they said something about his height. And it wasn't even in a joking way. They were just admiring how tall he was. And then he just, out of nowhere, just chased them down and shot both of them like a That one just like completely blew me. But I said that's more believable because they have a suspect and it was 2 people that got killed, not 200. And we know who actually did it.
Thank you. We know in our neighborhoods, murders don't really stay, murders don't really stay unsolved. If they want to catch them motherfuckers, we know in the neighborhood who did what.
Mm-hmm. Sure do.
So I just get so tired of that. It gets frustrating to see that. And I mean, it reminds me of this next gentleman that I got to talk about. Terry Crews.
Oh, Lord. Oh.
Every single panel that I've gotten on in the last couple of days, his name had to come up somehow, some way.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I haven't been talking about Terry the Fairy since I roasted him to oblivion with my video about him. I figured I don't have to worry about him no more. Man, this man, does he have a tap shoe factory that churns out? Listen, he has a tap shoe factory that every month it churns out new tap shoes, all types of exotic ostrich tap shoes and motherfucking rhino skin tap shoes. This man made Don Lemon look pro-black on TV.
I know, right? Isn't that something? And he said he's sticking with that black supremacist comment that he made. He
you
know, Lisa, you want to know why he's sticking? You want to know why he's sticking with it? Because that's living his truth.
Yeah, right.
They kill me with that phrase.
Yeah, now you got to be pretty bad if you make Don Lemon look halfway decent. You know,
right.
Bad.
DP said he got a sponsor. Yeah, he got a sponsor. Wing tips. That's that motherfucker sponsor. Wing tips. Because that's a tapping motherfucker. Oh, God damn. Did you just come on TV and make homosexual sleeping with a white man cool plenty of times? Say Bill O'Reilly's right about black people. Don Lemon look more blacker than you. Lemon was pushing back down. Like,
I'm not even gonna lie. I have my issues with Don Lemon, but some comments that he has been making lately, I have been agreeing with. Especially that one when he said white men are like the most dangerous people in America. And then what happened a few months later, and he made a bold statement while being married to a white man, which took a lot of balls to say. Yeah. And then what happened a few months later, FBI come out with a stats talking about like the biggest danger in America are these white supremacist groups that are mainly spearheaded by white men.
Yeah. Man, that man, yeah. Oh shit.
Yeah, because basically that's what Terry Crews did. Because Don had asked him about something, and then he tried to switch the narrative, and then Don was like, "Hold on, that's not what we was talking about. Let me bring you back to my original question." See, that's what happened. See, like I said, I have my issues with Don Lemon because of some stuff he has said in the past. But I will say this: he used good journalism skills in that instance. Because an amateur would have let Terry Crews get away with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, honestly. I'm gonna be honest too. I can be fair. Don Lemon been barbecuing quite a few people, to be honest, when it comes to his journalism recently.
And you know what it took for him to realize that person Willie in the White House.
I thought Willie D. Once Cool song came out,
well, that's
when he was in Cool Part 1. He started changing up a little by little. I said, "Man, Don Lemon." And since then, I said he must have heard Willie D version and felt bad. So I'm watching the sports shows this morning, y'all. As soon as I wake up, and I'm like, "Why are people talking about Desean Jackson? What is going on?" And he's on the head of every sports show. Desean Jackson makes anti-Semitic statement. I read what he said. They made it say like he should burn all Jews. He said nothing of the sort. But the biggest thing that I'm worried about, and I got to give it to Shannon Sharp for calling Skip Bayless and white people out. Why are they say, this is what they said, they say he retweeted a quote from Hitler. Okay, I feel you. You don't retweet a quote from Hitler. I get you. But then they say he retweeted support for Farrakhan. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, that's not the same. And then they tried to push how Farrakhan, he said that we the real Hebrew Israelites. Black people are the real Israelites. And they start talking about he need to learn about not being anti-Semitic. I said, by saying black people are the real Hebrews, is that anti-Semitic? Or the Hitler quote? They really won't focus on when he said black people, the real Hebrew Israelites.
Right.
They too busy focusing on he liked Farrakhan. And today Shannon Sharp said, now, why we always gotta separate ourselves from somebody? He said when Obama was running for president, he got separated himself from Reverend Wright. Now y'all saying, oh, he listening to Farrakhan. He said, meanwhile, the NFL locked and stepped in key with Donald Trump. You know what he not only said, but you know what he done. And y'all ain't telling them that they got to disavow him.
Right. Right. You know, that's why I said I'm not denouncing anybody. You know, I'm sorry. I remember back when Keith Ellison was denouncing Farrakhan. I ain't denouncing no damn body. Not for white people. No.
Remember that's what happened with Tamika Mallory, and they tried to kick her off of her own post when she didn't denounce Farrakhan. That's the thing. It's like whenever a black person even mentions the name Farrakhan, they're already ready to write you off. That's how much he dwells in their minds.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I said that man has a lot of power if he can do or make white people that upset just by mentioning their name. It's almost like, you know what? Oh, I got the perfect analogy for it. Y'all familiar with the Harry Potter movies, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's like the character Voldemort. In that movie, he was considered the character he who shall not be named. Like they were scared to say his name, as if he would appear the minute you say it. That's sort of like what Farrakhan is like to white people.
That's true. I mean, he's the root of all evil, Lisa. Why do we have to denounce him, Lisa?
We shouldn't have to denounce anybody. Hi, True Royal.
True Royal, I sent you the link.
Yeah, no, we shouldn't have to denounce any damn body. And like I said, I have yet to see white people denounce their races. I'm not doing that. If I want to talk about Farrakhan or do a video on Farrakhan or, you know, or comment on what somebody said, you know, about Farrakhan, I'm going to do it. I don't care what they say.
Yeah, I noticed when I did my video on how Fox Soul had and we're gonna talk about that.
Yeah,
when I did my video about Fox Soul and how they pretty much canceled his appearance on there, I noticed that YouTube didn't monetize that video. And I knew they wouldn't because I had his name in the title. But I wanted to touch on that a little bit because I thought that was so interesting. Isn't it amazing that Fox Soul canceled his appearance like right at the last minute because of something Jake Tapper said on a competing network?
Thank you.
Right.
I was just going to touch on that. I was going to say Farrakhan's so powerful, he made Fox and CNN get along. Think about that. They take shots at each other every day, all day.
Yeah. No, you know what? Like I said, I ain't never seen white people denounce the Klan. I never seen them denounce these, even these attacks on black people, these random people. No, I'm not denouncing no damn body in the black community. I'm sorry. Now, I'm going to tag a few people, but I'm not going to openly come out talking about I denounce other black people. We shouldn't do that for no white group of people at all.
Facts.
We be doing that mess.
No, Lisa, if they don't got to denounce George Washington because, oh, well, it was a different time and it was a slippery slope, then I don't got to denounce Farrakhan because it was a different time and it was a slippery slope.
Yeah.
Think about that. They telling you, look, we don't got to denounce or take down no George Washington statue because what not. Yes, it was slavery and that was wrong and that's always wrong, but we have to look at his other accomplishments. Okay, Minister Farrakhan might have told you about the hook-nosed Jew, but let's think about the hook-nosed Jew he was talking about.
Yeah, but let's be real here. The reason why, you know, like with their statues coming down, white people's whole history is racism. They're from 500 years ago all the way up until their entire history is racism. So any symbolism they got up, automatically it's attached to racism. All of it is. Act like they got some squeaky clean history up in here. Their entire existence in America since they've been on this soil is racism.
Exactly.
I don't know how they become, all of a sudden when Farrakhan's name comes up, they got all these morals. Get out of here. I don't want to hear all that crap from them.
Exactly.
I may not agree with everything Farrakhan say, but I tell you what, it'll be a cold day in hell before I denounce him.
Thank you. And any problems we got with Farrakhan, that's our right to question him, not yours, white people. That's our right. We will deal with him about the problems we as a people have. As far as you're concerned, Farrakhan's never harmed a hair on y'all head, for real.
Right. And the comparison to Hitler, Farrakhan ain't putting no Jew in an oven. Okay, I don't want to hear none of that crap.
Thank. That shit is crazy.
It's just like, now I'm not big on Black Lives Matter, but don't try to say the Black Lives Matter like KKK. Black Lives Matter never lynched nary white person. I don't want to hear all that crap.
No, the one I keep saying a comparison to is they keep comparing it to Antifa.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and they ain't hurt no damn body. If anything, they getting shot. So I'm like that too. I might not be the biggest Black Lives Matter supporter, but at the same time, I won't let you do a Marcellus Wiley and come on TV and shit on him.
Yeah.
Cause that shit was ridiculous. This man came on TV and just shit on Black Lives Matter. I said, God damn, nigga, you know you black. But then, of course, I said, well, he bald head with no face yet. What I tell the whole world? I said, well, I told the whole world, then I'm going to go ahead and forget.
I hear you.
So, Donald Trump, in a series of tweets, said that Bubba Wallace need to apologize.
No, that's another thing. Black people, don't be apologizing on the command of white people. The hell with that. They don't apologize for all the rotten things they do. No.
He said that he should be thankful that all them white people stood by his side, and he should apologize to them for them having a noose in his garage.
Please.
Now, Skip Bayless keeps saying this, and the media keeps skipping over this. They checked 1,089 NASCAR garages. And out of all 1,089, 1,088 didn't have a noose, just that one. And they keep saying, well, the FBI, and if you watch morning TV sports talk, Skip Bayless don't buy it, and he's the one, I think he's a white supremacist. Skip Bayless be like, I'm not sure. Fuck, exactly. That don't make no sense. Okay. And then he said, it's not like a hand-sized noose. You could fit somebody's head through that.
Yeah.
You know what's so crazy? You had them palm-fella people all over social media trying to convince us that it was something wrong with our eyes, as if we did not see that was clearly a noose.
Yeah, it sure
They tried to say that. They kept trying to say that was a garage handle. Listen, I've seen a garage handle. It doesn't look anything like that.
In fact, I got a rope that's hanging like that in my garage, and it's just a straight rope. It's not a noose.
It's not a noose.
Attached to the garage door where you can pull it up and down.
Exactly. Lisa, this is the funny shit. How come the motherfucking excuse, y'all, is this? This is the excuse, y'all. The excuse is this. Oh, it was tied a year ago. Okay, how about finding out who thought it was funny to tie a fucking noose a year ago?
It wasn't.
Right.
It wasn't.
How about look into that?
You're talking about NASCAR, the same sport that flew a Confederate flag for years. Okay, that's what
Right.
you're talking about.
Right. So this shit is crazy. They won't investigate the motherfucker who tied the noose. Period. Like, okay,
It's really all about, they know if they investigate, they're gonna find a white dude. They don't want to investigate a white dude. That's what this is.
Right.
Exactly. Because there ain't really, there's no black people in NASCAR except for Bubba Wallace.
Right.
And last year, it was somebody in that garage, if Bubba Wallace was in that race, and was probably thinking about Bubba Wallace and tied that fucking noose. That's what I believe. That's what I'm wholehearted.
And it's crazy because 45 want him to apologize when it wasn't even Bubba Wallace that found the noose. It was somebody on his team that found it.
Right. Another brother, another black man. That's why he had to report it. Because if I'm a nigga walking by and I work, I'm like, hey, what the fuck? That's a noose.
Yeah.
Exactly. I even posted the picture online on my Twitter account and said, look, that's clearly a noose. And of course, I got it from the Yahoo news page, and you already know in that comment section, you know how they get down. And they try to do everything they could to deflect and say that it wasn't what it was, that it was this and it wasn't that. And I was like, whatever.
Yeah. That's the shit they try to play. Somebody just brought up in the chat room about the Desean Jackson situation. The white boy Riley Cooper said I'll fight every nigger over there. He did. He said he'll beat every nigga up in the Philadelphia. They gave that motherfucker a weekend off with pay, told him go to class, and then they gave him a $25 million extension. And then Michael Vick came out and said that Riley's a good guy. So I'm going to agree with Shannon Sharp. Where's our white guy at? Okay? How come whenever a white person slip up, it's always some black person? He said in the NFL is Tony Dungy, and that's the truth. Tony Dungy is the resident coon. Anytime a white person say something racist, whether it be NFL ownership or NFL players, Tony Dungy come out and say, I know him, he's a good guy, and he's really not racist, and he didn't mean that. And every black person supposed to listen to Tony Dungy. Well, when is we gonna have a white guy that come out and say, I know LVZ said he's a Peckerwood devil, but you've got to understand he's a good friend. You know, when they gonna get a Mark Wonderlich out there is what I'm trying to say.
And to Michael Vick, and to Michael Vick, why would you even defend that, knowing them white people still mad about what you did? That's what it was. LBB, that's what it was. He thought by defending Riley Cooper and what he said was going to get him back in the good graces of white people. They're not going to forget about that. They still talk about that to this day. But they don't. Guess what? They don't talk about Riley Cooper, but they'll still talk about you. And you was indirectly involved, and that happened years before.
And they don't talk about Roethlisberger going in bathroom stalls with women and raping them. They don't talk.
And they don't talk about Nick Brown beating the shit out of his wife while his kids were there.
They don't talk much about Mason the racist Rudolph either, who still got a job calling motherfuckers the N-word. They just talk about Myles Garrett bashing his racist ass upside the head with that hair.
Oh yeah,
that was funny.
That shit was fun. I don't care who y'all or what you think. Myles Garrett is a hero to black children. You need to show that to your children. I was watching this joint. This was some bullshit, Lisa. It was this one black hockey player. He from DC. He played for Montgomery Maple Leafs. He played for a DC hockey team. One black kid. Youngin was good. His father put him in hockey, and he the only black dude on the team. They went to play another local team. Soon as the puck started, the whole team tried to jump dude. So the little white boys so the white boys on his team start rumbling with him.
Wow.
They ain't just staying there; they start rumbling with him.
Mm-hmm.
I will say this: when it comes to hockey, that's a true team sport right there. If one rumble, they all rumble. Sort of like baseball. You know, when the fight happens, the entire dugout comes out for that.
Yeah.
So it's like, one rumbles, they all. It's no fighting fair in those two sports right there. One is fighting, we all fight.
Right. And that lets you know that they showed that. I was like, damn, Dante Smith Pelly had talked to him and everything. It happened like a year ago. The Capitals player Dante Smith Pelly, he had talked to him about it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I know. I got his jersey.
Yeah,
I got his jersey. I got his jersey for my birthday last year.
Hell yeah. They say he had saw the video and he was like, yeah, I totally know how he feel. I said, he do? Because I don't never see them fighting for you like that in the pro.
Right? Yeah, I don't know. Michael Vick, I don't know what's up with that, but if anything, he should have learned a lesson from that mess, with those dogs and everything. Because I can tell you, when that happened, my dad was still alive. And I remember he was going to get chemo and he was talking about how them white people would sit back there. And the whole conversation would be about what Michael Vick did to the dogs. My dad looked at them and one day he said, y'all care all about them damn dogs, but a black child can get shot in the street and y'all don't say nothing. He said, I ain't thinking about no dog.
Right. My father used to say the same shit at work. He said, yeah, man. The white motherfuckers had to shut the fuck up today. I got tired of motherfuckers. They kept talking about Michael Vick for 2 days. Then I finally had to drop the ball on these motherfuckers. But I said, what you say? I told them motherfuckers, man, fuck them dogs and fuck you too. Everywhere I go in DC, Maryland, Virginia, my son had 2 pit bulls. Talk about my brother LJ that died. And the police took them motherfuckers because they don't allow black men to have pit bulls. So y'all don't give a fuck about no pit bull. You just mad that a nigga had one and a nigga with money had one. Fuck y'all. Don't bring that shit up.
Yeah.
Right. We got to have, when are we going to have, where is our white guy at though, Lisa? Where is our white guy to come out and say for us when we slip up? Oh, no. He's a good guy. I know him. He's like China Sharp said, when Deshaun Jackson said what he said, which he didn't say no racial slur. He ain't say that. But the Jewish owners of the Eagles said, oh, this was appalling and disgusting, and we're going to do something immediately. When Riley Cooper said Riley was insensitive and we talked to him and he may need counseling. What? So saying nigger ain't a part of, look, in front of, saying something out your mouth threatening to injure people ain't appalling as a motherfucker who tweeted some shit he probably shouldn't have tweeted. What?
You know what they blamed it on? They blamed it on the fact that he was intoxicated. I said bullshit. I said that's when you are your most truthful. Is when you're intoxicated.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, I'm about to say, yeah. I mean, but look, they know that too. That's what they were saying. He would have never told the truth if he wasn't drunk, so we can't hold that against him. That's what they're saying. He would have never told the truth if he wasn't drunk. We understand that. We're gonna look. Think about it. The first thing they told you was they gonna put him in alcohol classes and sensitivity training. I said, "Ain't this a bitch? Stop drinking so you won't say that shit out loud." That's what they tell you. See, that's what I keep telling people. This culture where they trying to make it now. They're trying to make the culture like this, where it's okay to think it, but it ain't okay to say it. Let me let you know something, y'all. I like it that they can say it, because we know who's who.
Right.
Exactly.
And you can't take that shit back.
Right. There's nothing worse than somebody that's covert. I'd rather them be out front with their racism.
Exactly.
Right? Like all them Karens Lisa showed that got fired in that video. I laughed myself into a nap.
That is a whole like sector right there. Like it's as crazy as they are when they be acting out like that and be watching their videos. I be laughing at their antics. It's like the lengths that they will go in order to try to be a victim.
Oh no, the shit that they do and still think that they a victim.
Mm-hmm.
One bitch walked around the corner to videotape a motherfucker putting a patio in their backyard.
Yeah,
I heard about that.
I saw that. I think Willie D had it on.
Yeah, I was mad that the lady said, "You attacked me." She said, "I ain't attack you. My husband held me back." I cut the video on right then. I said, "This bitch ass nigga." You record. No, you supposed to let your wife loose on that ass.
I'll never forget. Go ahead.
Nah, go ahead.
I'll never forget when I did a video on my channel, and it's still up there, like on my channel from maybe about a couple years ago. And this was like the first instance, like the first video I probably did on my channel involving what we now known as a Karen. At the time, they didn't have a title. Where it was this black woman, a black man. They were together. I don't know if they were married or just in a relationship, but they were there with their two kids because I think their daughter had to go to the doctor or the hospital or something like that. And this Karen that was sitting there out of nowhere just inserted herself into the conversation because I think she said that the mother was talking about disciplining her kid, and the white lady overheard her. Man, that black woman went in on her in that hospital without even having to get out of her chair or flinch or shift her child around because the child was sitting on her lap. And she was basically telling her, like, reading her rights. She was like, look, you need to mind your business. Don't be trying to tell me how to discipline my child and everything like that. And I'm sitting there saying to myself, she has a child sitting next to her. I wonder if she doesn't discipline her child. And I wonder if her child going to grow up to become possibly a school shooter.
Come on now. You know it's a 47% chance that that's possible.
Yeah, right?
White folks, if you looking at your little bundle of joy and he's a baby cooing and con, just know 47% of y'all gonna be school shooters, motherfucker. Now, most of the school shooters, 90% of the school shooters are white, but 47% of people are school shooters.
Yeah.
And they don't want to talk about them stats. But see, every time they talk about school shooters, they'll find a way to slip on Chicago somewhere in there. They be like, yeah, but in Chicago. No, we're not talking about Chicago. And we still don't know who the suspects are.
Yeah, but them black kids in Chicago ain't going in there and shooting up the place.
Right.
Right.
Doing that.
And the thing, you know what's so crazy? Whenever there's an instance where a shooting may have occurred, maybe at a job or something like that, and out of, in some way that the shooter happens to be black, they'd be so gleeful that it's not a white person. But then when you find out the reasoning as to why, they get quiet. Because usually most of the time when it's a black person that does a shooting and is probably shooting other white people, is because of racial discrimination on the job. That's usually what it always boils down to.
That's what it is all the time.
And then whenever it usually is a white person, it's because he couldn't get to finish the next level on Grand Theft Auto. Fucking mom, the whole class is gone tomorrow.
Right, he couldn't get to a certain part in Call of Duty.
All right, Kyle, you're gonna have to cut that game off. Fuck you, bitch! I haven't been to school in weeks. I'm gonna finish this board. Now, Kyle, I told you about calling me a bitch.
LVZ, my son was on a gaming live stream one time. Mm-hmm. It must have been about 2 years ago. He came and got me. He said, Mom, this white dude is beating his wife up on live stream. And you could hear her screaming and whimpering and crying in the background. And he did it in front of the kids. You could hear the kids screaming. I said, he didn't even get off a lot. He did this shit on live stream. White man. His wife was trying to get him off of the live stream to come and eat dinner. And they ended up getting into an argument while the live stream was going, and he gets up and beat her up, and you can hear it all in the background on live stream. This is what this white man did.
Crazy. Now, Lisa, all this shit they claim black people doing that they can't catch. Again, now I'm gonna keep bringing that up. Every time I talk about this so-called black on black crime, that they never catch the black killer, but you can assume he's black, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
That's the look. That's even proof you not gonna find the killer. If your assumptions is already, oh yeah, he's black. What if he not?
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
You know what? Like one of the pettiest things you can do when it comes to white people is if they, you know, say that you just happen to end up in a back and forth with them on social media, which I do my best to avoid. Just happen to go on YouTube, in the search bar, type in OJ verdict reaction, copy that link and send it to them. That'll shut them up because they don't like seeing that.
Oh yeah, the OJ verdict.
I get a nice little giggle every time I see that. Their reaction on that video was priceless.
But you know that one of the things that Lisa talked about, that everybody talked about. You know, one of the things that the OJ verdict did, the same effect the Obama verdict did. Niggas got fired all over the motherfucking country.
Right.
Niggas got fired or laid. A lot of niggas got laid off when OJ got off. That's no bullshit. A lot of shit. When Obama became president, niggas got fired. Oh, we got you. We got you. You got a president, nigga. You got unemployment.
Well, luckily for me, I was in college, so.
Right, exactly. Shit, luckily for me, I was on probation anyway, so I was I'm gonna be okay, my man. I'm gonna get me a job. But nah, this shit, the annoying shit about I'm in Chicago. Most black people on chill mode during the holiday. They're not trying to make the block hot. Look, I understand we got fringes in our community. Everybody does, right? But I refuse to believe that we got such master criminals that's out here murdering our kids, murdering our old ladies, murdering our young men, and they don't ever get caught.
Right. Ever. My thing is, I'm not believing this pattern of always the weekend, always
the holiday.
No, I'm not believing it.
Me neither. And I keep trying to tell people that, and I think what like pisses me off more is you have some people that's in Chicago that still fall for it. Mm-hmm. I'm like, I said they could catch the French actor lying, saying that he got jumped by some people wearing MAGA hats on a grainy camera, but you can't find someone who's acting like goddamn Nightcrawler, teleporting from one block to the next, doing all these shootings.
Right.
People launching out, Lisa, they saying that Trump talk about opening schools and threaten to cut school funding if they don't open. Well, I mean, they can open all they want.
Well, you just I pulled up an article, LVZ. Mm-hmm. One of these states allowed day camp. Mm-hmm. Everybody got sick at the day camp. Everybody got sick. So look, if you're gonna get sick at a day camp, your ass gonna get sick in school.
Right.
Let's be real. You're gonna get sick in school. Any parent at this point, if you are listening to Trump and following whatever he says, you a fool at this point.
You a fool. Yeah, you a new fool.
You should know none of these people.
I was just at the grocery store seeing one of the parents and classmates that Jabari has sent a little girl in a grocery store with her mother. And I asked her, I said, you miss school? I said, you happy that you been gone? She was like, no, I miss my classmates. I said, well, shit, you gonna be missing Jabari too next year. She said, yeah, she is, because her ass staying home too. I ain't fucking with them. I said, right. She said, I already knew you wasn't gonna send Jabari. They said you took him out 4 days before the school. I said, you motherfucking right. When the NBA shut down, I said, oh, my son ain't going to school. Fuck that.
Mm-hmm. But you know what? You've been saying that all along, though, LVZ. You've been saying that all along about Jabari not going back.
Not going back. Yeah, they can do what they got, man. I'ma laugh at them. I'm like, hey, look, y'all figured out if he gonna get sick or not. If he do, and anything happen to my son, I'm gonna sue y'all for everything, and it's not gonna be Maryland no more. The state will be named after me. God damn it. We ain't even gonna have a governor. It's just gonna be a rulership over this motherfucker. No. Hell no. I'm not, don't play no games with your kids because these white folks, they don't have that kind of power over you.
Yeah, and they don't have no answers for COVID. So therefore, you should not be listening to none of them.
Right.
Look, the disaster they've already made. Look, tried to reopen all these different states. Now they look stupid closing everything up because people done got sick.
Hey, look, we one of the few states with a steady, with everybody ain't dying, and that's great fuck up. We laugh about that shit every day at work. We like, hey, young, you know that we gonna shut down. I said, nigga, how many family members you got from Carolina? He said, shit, a whole bunch. I said, they stuck down there right now, and they thinking, hey, everything open in Virginia and Maryland. They gonna come up here and get us sick. We all got family of it down there. All of it. This shit is horrible. We're gonna be stuck like this. Look, the only thing I can say about Joe Biden is this. If he is president, this shit won't be happening. All the other racist shit and still shit will be back. This shit will be under control. I can say that. I can say that. Why? We had an example. Ebola didn't kill us like that over here, y'all. It was killing everywhere else, but not here. Them motherfuckers, because they stuck to the plan. Listen to the people smarter than me. That's all it's about. Listening to people who smarter than you. When you go to the doctor because you got a funny feeling about yourself, you don't go, oh no, that ain't what's wrong with me. You trust that they know what the fuck they talking about.
Now, when you listen to Trump, you know damn well he don't know what he talking about.
Exactly. Why you gonna listen to a moron? Right.
But he claimed he's so smart.
Lou is stupid. What about Kanye? What about Kanye? That's like putting Trump back in there.
Yeah. So what? Kanye gonna run with a MAGA hat on?
Right.
I mean, really?
Hey, first of all, ain't no black person. If you gonna vote for a black man that just kissed a white man's ass on national television last year, he not gonna get it. Kanye gonna be the first motherfucker to have negative votes.
And don't forget, he's the same guy that said that Trump is like a father figure to him.
Yes, y'all remember that?
Yeah, in front of him now. He might well call him dad. That shit is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say he need to get his meds recalibrated. And I saw a meme today, where Kanye had left some kind of a post, and I think somebody had made like a parody account on Twitter of 43, in which he said Kanye doesn't care about black people.
He don't.
Well, he wears a MAGA hat. We definitely know that.
Right. He can't care about black people. Nigga run around in a MAGA hat looking like the male Candy. He the one that helped put Candace Owens on.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, he was trying to boost her cachet in the black community.
Mm-hmm. And ain't nobody really fought for it except for them brain dead Negroes. And there's only a handful of them.
Yep. 4th of July was interesting, y'all. So we had the dude about to get hung, right? But then down there in Stone Mountain, we had our brothers from the Not Fucking Around Coalition.
Yeah.
All armed up Stone Mountain like bring it, Pecker Woods. But they want to be in Indiana lynching on some coon.
Mm-hmm.
See, Coon won't save you. Like Herman Cain. Coon won't save you.
Yeah, because Carmen Kane got the woo-woo too.
Yeah, see, Coonan won't save him, but you know, he did get the coronavirus from that Tulsa rally.
This is what I'm trying to figure out, Lee. First of all, let me say something to all the white people who's scared about Donald Trump catching the coronavirus. It won't be from Clarence Thomas when he gave that nigga the cheap seats at a rally where it wasn't even nobody there. How? Why was him and Paris Denard and them sitting so high up buck dancing? He said,
Right.
African American.
They had them in the they had them in the Rosa Parks section.
What? Tory. It was so high. It was so high up the concession man was selling oxygen. He was running around with oxygen tanks. I got oxygen. Oxygen. I mean, really. That shit was hilarious. Then Kimberly Gargoyle got it. Donald Trump.
Uh-huh.
I wish True Ward was here for this. Look, she'll have some fun with this one. Now, this fucked me up. Kimberly Gargoyle is Donald Trump's daughter-in-law. Donald Trump Jr. girlfriend, right?
Yeah.
She got it, but he don't got it.
Right.
I said, oh, this nigga's getting no pussy at home. God damn. I said, what? That's not, let me tell you something. Let me explain something to anybody who don't know. If your girlfriend got a respiratory disease and she's a asymptomatic and you don't catch it too, it's because you don't really have a girlfriend. Y'all ain't kissing, y'all ain't hugging, y'all ain't sharing. But if you my girlfriend, I got that shit. I know I did. I said, this nigga's not smashing at all. At all. Mm-hmm. That nigga's a simp. Donald Trump Jr. and his wife sleep just like Donald Trump Sr. and his wife. In different beds, in different houses.
Mm-hmm.
I said, God damn.
Well, they said Melania is really not there that much in that White House. You know, she moved.
I guess.
She moved her parents to D.C. from New York. And they said
right.
Most of the time she just go hang out with her parents.
Yeah, she don't be in that White House. But look, you ain't hear Melania Trump say all lives matter. Cause she be in some black man house. She don't be in the White House, but damn if she don't be in the black house, I bet you.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, the rumors were always going about her having, you know, somebody on the side outside of Trump. I said that's why it took her so damn long to move down there to that White House.
Damn right.
I'm waiting for Bannon to get out of school. No, you up there humping that man for the last time that you've been
damn right. I did not think he would win, Clarence. Clarence tuning ass and Melania just goes, Mr. Trump. He'll be great. Clarence, you know, he has a 1-inch pee-pee. I don't know. So Clarence, you got a 1-inch pee-pee. I said, ain't this a bitch? Damn, Don. Poor Don. Look, this shit is crazy. This motherfucker act like the disease ain't even happening. The motherfucker, the greaseball up there in Florida, that governor, that greaseball fucker, he out this joint trying to open up schools. Wow, the shit is rising higher than it's ever risen anywhere before.
Uh-huh.
Man, it's with a lot of dead kids in Florida. Y'all listen to these Peckerwoods, I swear. You better not listen to these Peckerwoods. Don't listen to them. Who smell like baloney? Look, this is just a side note. White folk, I know y'all happy to be out the house and shit. Y'all been in the house for the last month or two. But y'all got to shower before y'all come out. You just, look. Look, I seen 100 of them at the hotel. And I smelled, I said, oh, And they was like, what? I said, you don't smell them white folks? They said, go ahead, man. Then they walked by like, damn, yeah. I said, yeah, that's the white folks smell.
I remember I said on Twitter a couple of years ago that why do white people smell like wet dog? And some people got a hold of that tweet and got so upset that I said that. Oh, well.
It's real. Y'all got the shower for y'all. I know y'all been in the house beating on your wife. Your wife been in there taking opioids, drinking wine, falling asleep, nodding off like a narcoleptic. I know what y'all do. Video recording your motherfucking black neighbors jogging, driving their car, minding their business. I know what y'all do. But y'all need to, in time, when y'all doing all of that, shower. Shower.
Man, LVZ, there were days when I was still working in corporate America. I would try to get on the elevator by myself, but every now and then it just wasn't possible. Get on that elevator with about 4 or 5 on them. You're going to feel like you're about ready to pass out when the doors open. I kid you not.
Right.
Oh, man. There are some things I don't miss.
And my brothers from the motherland. I know maybe that pheromone is good over there in Africa. And I love my brothers from the mother, but you got to wear deodorant, champ.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I work with a brother that don't wear deodorant, man, at all. And the shit make everybody mad on them. Everybody mad.
That is a very strong and potent smell. It smells like something that expired. I remember when I used to work at the airport, and a lot of the baggage people that was outside, they were pretty much all Africans. So whenever they would come inside, the smell, you could smell it. And the thing is, don't let it be a hot day, because you got to think they outside sweating, and that makes the odor spread. And it's like, oh my God. Like one time when they had to come back there to ask for something, I'm like saying to myself, can you please ask without pointing? Because God damn it, your underarms stink.
What? Toy. I remember I was working with a company one time with an African brother too, man. But this brother arms was humming. They had this brother cleaning bathrooms, right? I'm doing maintenance, great, go fix. I said, man, they called, they said, hey, LeVar, we need you to go over and fix that damn bathroom over by Bath and Body Works. One of the sinks ain't working. So I go in there, I say, hold up. I call, I said, hey, man, y'all gotta give me a mask or something. I said, what? I said, because the African brother worked in there, I can't smell piss or shit. I just smell underarm. You can't smell piss and shit in a bathroom. All you smell is underarms. That's some strong shit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, hold up. Motherfucker, you overpowered the smells that's supposed to come from here. God damn. Why do motherfuckers want to walk around smelling like they grilling cheeseburgers on their
I don't know. And they're not the only ones. I got caught up with them East Indians before too.
Ooh, with the curry sauce.
They'll have them big sweat stains on their shirts and everything.
Yeah, right under the arm. Huge rings. Like ain't nothing going on. Mm-hmm. You smell like sweat and curry powder. That's not a good combination. Mm-hmm. And clove cigarettes. No.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Oh, Lisa, we moved some of them when I had the whole crew laugh. I said, I hate moving these Haji motherfuckers. They said, go ahead, LeVar. They said, go ahead, LeVar. I said, nah, because they always stink, man. They're like, go ahead, LeVar. That ain't cool, man. Soon we go in the house, niggas come running out, man. They stink like shit. I said, yeah. We lift one of the couches. I said, this whole couch smell like curry. My face is burning. They had your clothes smelling. You got to throw your clothes away. Seriously, if you move one of them, it's like you live with them for a year.
Yeah, well, I used to work with a brother, and he used to call them dot heads. Who he was talking about? He would just call them dot heads.
Straight them dot heads.
Because they always had that dot in between their eyes.
That red dot and that red dot in the middle of their forehead.
Call them dot heads.
They talk about. I was watching this shit. They talk about black. Okay, Toya, here you go. You gonna like this, Lisa. So I don't know if y'all saw my last live. So they was talking about a hate crime that happened in Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell y'all the scenario, and I want to hear y'all thoughts. So it's a black man and a Becky, and they say they're in a giant. And they
I know what you're talking about.
I know, and they walking around. They walking around. Let me give you the scenario, Lisa. So it's Becky and Kareem, and they walking around. Let's get some rhubarb. Let's get some rhubarb. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, a black man comes up, smashes his shopping cart into their shopping cart. He probably was saying something, singing a song like this, Lisa. Color green, bitch! Color green, bitch! So, he slammed his cart into their cart. Then they say they won't tell you what he said. They said all the news keeps saying is, and my line, Tori, all the news say is he made a racial remark about his partner.
Yeah. Because he's in an interracial relationship. He also basically said that made the statement saying that he was betraying his race by being with this white woman and stuff like that. I read that too. Okay.
So then they say he pulls out a knife and just randomly tries to attack Becky. So Kareem got to jump into her defense, and he stabs him in the leg and run off. They calling it a hate crime, Lisa.
Okay.
I swear they are.
Yeah, they really are. They really are.
Wow.
I was thinking about doing a video about that, but I was like, I might leave this one alone. But how ironic that you bringing it up now.
Man, I brought it up the last day. I had everybody look, this is my first problem. 9 times out of 10, we do see niggas swirling around here. If you make a remark, it's normally a funny remark to yourself and you keep going. I don't see nobody stop. Oh, there you is with that white woman. You portraying the race. I don't see niggas doing all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Like the way that I would expect that from a white person.
Yeah.
I'm like, are you sure that wasn't a white person that said that? Because I would expect the white person that did that. Especially with how they carrying on right now.
Right. Then they still haven't found this black man.
And they probably won't. I would not be surprised if he made this shit up.
Uh-huh.
At which, if he did, he need his ass beat.
That shit is crazy.
Yeah, because you're right. Because I heard about it. I saw it had came through to my phone a couple days ago, and I haven't really heard anything about this since.
Right, they ain't brought it up no more. But
then this alleged attack it didn't happen. The shopping cart thing happened in the store, but the alleged attack with the knife happened when he walked out the store. So you mean to tell me that this person was so mad that you was with a white woman that he waited for you to come out of the store and then not attack you, but try to attack her?
Mm-hmm.
And that they only talk to you. If this was a real attack, because I read the article and nowhere in it did they even interview any other witnesses. The only people they say they talked to was him and the girlfriend. So you mean to tell me that y'all two were the only people in the store when this happened? You mean to tell me nobody else saw this? No cameras picked this up? Cameras inside the store, outside the store did not pick this up? And this was in DC, right?
This is in Bowie, the John and
Bowie.
It's in
Bowie.
I know where that is.
And Bowie is a
right on 197. Come on.
Yeah, now the story really not making no sense.
Everybody would have been there. Lisa, the area they talking about, first of all, because it's Bowie, to see a Negro swirling there really ain't a big deal. You see them
It really is. It really, it really is. And listen, at my job where I work at the arena downtown, listen, I see a lot of interracial relationships going on at my job. A lot of them.
I'm about to say, if that's the case, that nigga was in the wrong area. He gonna be pulling out a knife every 45 minutes.
Did he say what store he was at?
The Giant and Bowie.
The Giant. Oh, I know exactly what that Giant is.
I know you know what I'm talking about.
I know exactly what Giant over there in Bowie Town Center.
Yes.
Yeah, that doesn't sound right at all. That does not sound remote. And at Bowie Town Center with all them people, are you kidding me? I highly doubt that what he said is even remotely true.
Lisa, we don't even live. We live near 400 Giants before we get to Bowie Town Center. Yet we've been there too. That's how frequented that Giant is by different people. But only people seeing this attack is Becky and Kareem.
Yeah.
And Stay Woke.
Mm-hmm.
That nigga nickname need to be Stay Woke. See, what happened was, somebody said no concealed carry in Bowie. What you need a concealed carry for? Well, yeah, motherfucker need to be, all that swirling shit. I mean, look, we ain't sitting up here condoning the shit, but at the same time, we ain't got time to be sitting up here attacking everybody swirling. We don't. Right.
Because just imagine if I was that type of person imagine if I was that type of person that he claimed attacked him in that store. At my job, my ass would have been fired and caught a few charges.
Thank you. That's what had me laugh. I said, oh boy, that nigga ain't get locked up. He ain't get caught. Seriously? She. Yeah, I'm about to say. And then when people talk about concealed and carry, brother, you might want to talk to Philando Castile.
Yeah, really.
Right, brother. The black people need to stop all this. Man, you get a permit and get, man, them crackers gonna shoot you regardless and say that they scared. You better carry one if you got one. And that's all I'm gonna say. You born with a concealed, a reason to conceal. You black. Goddamn, you born with a reason to conceal and carry. You are black.
Yeah, but I had heard about that story and I was like, oh God, this doesn't even make no type of sense.
Hell no. Hell no, it don't. Hell no, it don't. It make about as much sense as a motherfucker sitting up Mount Rushmore talking about the Confederate flags. Motherfucker set up Mount. They should put Trump face on Mount Rushmore. Though. They really should. I think they should. He'd be good with them other slave masters. What you think about the Redskin name change, Tori?
They still debating on that. They talk about that every year, and it's the same thing every year. Mm-hmm. I tell you, that Dan Snyder not trying to come up off of that name.
Look, I could care less. You know what I'm saying? And not that I know it's a racial slur and it shouldn't be a name, but when I say I could care less, I heard the lady from the Indian tribe talk about, yeah, well, we worry, but every year, imagine being treated as a mascot. I'm like, motherfucker, no. I'm like, hold up, bitch. Who you talking to? treated as a mascot. They like mascots though. We don't get treated even that good.
Right.
That shit pissed me off. The lady start coming. Russell Means motherfucking daughter start talking about the oppression against the Native American. Well, who doing it? We ain't got nothing to do with that shit. It need to start being documented. They cut their head up.
But you know what? These other groups are always saying something stupid, like being a mascot. And just like when white people were going out in the streets with them guns up to the Capitol, talking about being at home was like slavery. What?
Exactly.
What the fuck? Being at home was like slavery.
Was somebody beating you and raping you?
What the hell is going on in your home? That's my question. What is going on in your house where you feel like that's equivalent to slavery?
Right. Being at home is like slavery. That had to be one of the silliest things I've heard so far this year.
Mm-hmm. So I'm not even surprised about the mascot comment. I mean, they all got something stupid to say. These people from other groups.
Right. These motherfuckers always talking this old dumb shit. What about y'all? Y'all motherfuckers practice just as much racism as the next guy. I don't want to hear nothing about that shit. They talk about, now they talking that shit. Look, just like you was talking about the Asian virus, they talk about the Chinese virus. Now, when they kept saying the Ebola virus from the depths and darks of Africa, yes, the Ebola virus, the niggas had brought, yes, the blacker than black Ebola virus. That wasn't racist when he say the Chinese virus, but they were saying, look, the blacker than black Ebola virus. Come on, that wasn't racist.
And then look at how they were treating the black people over there in China, and at the beginning of all of this, like kicking them out and trying to evict them, not letting them go to the hospital, none of that.
Yeah.
We ain't forget.
We need to start calling these people out. Some cocksucker here, Lisa. Some Guido garlic bread slinging, spaghetti bending, pizza meal throwing up, Stromboli making, calzone smelling, garlic not licking, motherfucking Guido here was mad because Baltimore, they snatched the Christopher Columbus statue down in the middle of the night, Lisa, and cut off his head and threw him in the water.
Yeah, I saw that. In fact, I did a video on that, but laugh all through it.
Right.
and to make sure that we know where they took it, you can see the drag marks right there on the ground leading up to the river.
Right. So Lisa, they throw it in the water, they recover the motherfucker. They said they gonna fix it. And this garlic, look, y'all stop laughing. This spaghetti smelling, lasagna licking, ravioli making bastard go sit here and say, oh yeah, I'm mad because we have great heroes like Christopher Columbus. Huh? And then say, maybe we'll pick some Italian who ain't controversial. I was like, who? Which kind? What nigga, Don Corleone? Is that
I know, right?
What Italian are you gonna pick that wasn't racist or that black people probably wouldn't have a problem with? He said Amerigo Vespucci or Da Vinci. I said, no, we not fucking with him. Talk about they gonna put Italians up high.
First of all, how about not put nothing up there? We don't need them old ugly ass
right.
Way.
Talk about we need to recognize what Italians have done.
Nothing. Man, nothing.
Yeah, what? I did. I just said y'all make the hell of a pizza. Nothing. And y'all make the fuck out some ravioli. I just did. Listen, true world. I mean, tell you, listen. And look, we recognize a great Italian and American. Ain't there one of y'all not had Chef Boyardee in your house? Get out of here. Mm-hmm. Mama Celeste Pizza. We pay homage.
Mm-hmm.
to the Italian man. So y'all stop. We eat ragu spaghetti sauce. We don't know what ragu is, nigga.
Anti-hero, you said Frank Sinatra. Put a T at the end of his name. Frank Sinatra.
Yeah.
Okay. That fool ain't do nothing either and couldn't sing either. Ass couldn't sing. Probably paid somebody to record. He paid someone to record all them badass songs.
Call HK Sylvester Stallone called a black man a nigga on camera just like 6 years ago for filming him.
And he's
a paparazzi dude.
And he's a fake boxer.
Right.
So, I mean, who cares?
Bo the Rockets. Not only is Chef Boyardee not a racist caricature, Chef Boyardee is his real name. Chef Boyardee got all the proceeds from that. Chef Boyardee retired rich. All them black people that was on them boxes did.
That's right.
So we can't even compare that. Look, somebody said the only statue we can make is Mario. Super Mario. Now that's Italian we love. We love some Super Mario. Y'all like Sylvester Stallone. I don't like that motherfucker. Everybody can remember the famous words that Sylvester Stallone said, right?
What's that? Wait. Michelle Harvey, Mayor Light said keeping the Columbus statue teaches history. Columbus don't teach you shit. And plus all their history is lies. They not even real. They done lied about everything up in here.
What history do it teach us? They keep saying that the motherfucker landed here. He didn't. Look, let me give y'all a history lesson that white people should know and do know. Christopher Columbus never set foot on here. Christopher Columbus was way off. That nigga missed here. He was trying to get to India. People give him credit for finding here. He didn't find here. That nigga was over there in Haiti. Stop. That nigga was just lost. Christopher Columbus ain't never made it here. Ever. Let me say again. Ever.
Right.
You got to stop. The people, white folk keep regurgitating that. The nigga didn't make it here, y'all. That nigga, he made it to vacation spots. Christopher. He made it.
He even thought he was in India too. He didn't even know where he was half the time.
Right. Man, this nigga over in the Dominican Republic. Now that's right. This nigga wasn't near here. He over there finding Sammy Sosa. He over there with a bunch of Sammy Sosas. And with that, look, that's the legacy of Christopher Columbus. He landed in Santo Domingo, murdered and wiped out all them people there. They arrested him for the shit that he did because he was raping little kids. He brought back a 12-year-old, was it, Lisa, for his own sex slave?
Yeah.
And he left, repopulated that country with a bunch of future Sammy Sosas. Mm-hmm. So that's the legacy Christopher Columbus left. You got a nigga who made himself look like Frankenberry. That is what. That's exactly what Christopher Columbus done. Fuck out of here, man. Tired of this shit. They're always telling us this shit, try to give you somebody, make him a hero.
Every last one of them are a bunch of racist slave owners, and they taught them in school as if they were all heroes. And see, now people know the real history. That's why they're around here ripping down them damn statues.
Exactly.
All fake.
Exactly. Right. They give you look. And now it's becoming abundantly clear, white folk, a lot of them heroes that they propped up for y'all don't have a lot of great, good people that did anything. Like noble shit, y'all don't have a lot of them. I'm not knocking you if you white, but it's just the truth. If you look through history, the way that this society set up, it wasn't by noble white men.
No.
It wasn't. All of them got some unscrupulous, scoundrelous ways with them.
Yep.
Because if he was a white dude who had any morals, well, you know what them white folk I'm talking about did. They killed that motherfucker. I don't know.
Yeah, like John Brown. They
killed that motherfucker. They killed him, Lisa, and all his sons.
Yep.
Right. That's what they did. So they try to wipe your family out if you. So yeah, we understand. We're not saying we don't understand, but what we saying is, don't fake like y'all society full of great motherfuckers is run by the scoundrels, the prisoners.
And it's crazy because they never ever talk about John Brown. Like I don't think I've ever come across one white person today or ever that talks about him
at all. And look, I ain't never met a white person when you bring them up that's willing to talk about
it. Yeah,
they'll just bypass it. Like
they also don't talk about the white people that were helping along the Underground Railroad. You barely know a name out of there.
That's why I said my last live, I said, man, I'm starting to think it wasn't none. I think, look, they can't give me one name, but I gave you Anthony Moore. That was your lie. You gave the Stills family, your family. We gave a lot of people that was black, but we couldn't think of one white family that helped Harriet Tubman. We like, hold up. Hey, what y'all do? They get rid of y'all. They get rid of y'all. So we totally understand.
Right. Did y'all hear they vandalized the Frederick Douglass statue? I guess white people call themselves. If you taking ours down, we gonna fuck up yours too. But we ain't into that symbolism like they are though.
Right.
That's why. Right. That's why you didn't find a lot of, like, when that happened. You didn't find black people running out there getting mad and crying in the middle of the street like the sky was falling out, like they were.
Yeah.
Because they did it with the intention of hoping that we was going to be outraged. I don't know one black person that was completely or even remotely upset. I didn't even see anything on Twitter with black people talking about. They act like it didn't even faze them because, like you said, Lisa, many of us aren't into symbolism like they are. I'm not saying that none of us are, but they take that to the extreme. Like they feel like the tearing down of these statues is the tearing down of their entire lineage is being stripped away from. I'm like, first of all, most of these people that's being taken down should never have been erected in the first place.
No.
And then secondly,
don't let the losing side put up statues all over the place.
Right. Y'all full hard, my nigga. Go ahead. We'll name a street after you.
You gotta be real. But hey, these are the high IQ. Saluting and rewarding losers is a part of their thing. After all, don't they get very excited and tear stuff up even when they lose a college game? Like, how do you lose a college championship that you work so hard to get to and lose, and you still find a way to celebrate losing?
Yeah,
that's when they riot. If the college team is black,
exactly,
they will riot. Now this is funny.
Remember when the Eagles won the Super Bowl that year and they was out there eating horse shit?
Yeah, I remember that.
I'm good. Look, Tori, shit, these motherfuckers. God damn it! Forgot what I was about to say. Crazy ass. These motherfucking Peckerwood sit here. They'll tell you that. Look, they'll tell you to be frustrated about what happened with the Frederick Douglass statue and don't understand why niggas ain't mad. Let me tell you why. White folk, you just prove how much history you know. Black people not gonna get mad that you vandalized the statue of Frederick Douglass. Because they was already mad that Frederick Douglass' father was a slave master and whipped his back. They wasn't worried about no statue. The real Frederick Douglass got his ass kicked. We was more concerned with that. Nobody worried about no fictitious statue. Look, y'all don't teach no history about it. Donald Trump thought the man was still alive.
He sure did. With his old dumb ass. I believe his niece, he did pay somebody to take his SAT.
Right.
Listen, I watched that video today, Lisa, and was cracking up. That was too funny.
No, but that sounded like something 45 would do.
Right. And then somebody just said they need to remove Gandhi from the MLK statue. They do. They do need to remove Gandhi from the MLK statue. I don't want to, first of all, look. Niggas don't, every time you look in a black neighborhood, it's some Indian nigga owning the 7-Eleven. Now we got a mural. Here we go, Gandhi, the Indian nigga on the 7-Eleven. Nah, no, we don't want a Slurpee, my friend. We do not dream of a Slurpee. Get your bald head racist ass out of here, Gandhi.
Yeah,
now, it's interesting though because a lot of 7-Elevens that are near me are owned by Africans.
Yeah, and not only that, I mean, how many black people are going to glorify some bald-headed Indian dude in a damn diaper? Okay, I'm sorry. I mean, come on. I don't even know how Martin Luther King even had any admiration for that man. He was a straight-up racist.
Straight up racist. They're a bald head. Yeah, at least a little short, bald head, racist bastard in a diaper.
Yeah.
You listen. That's like black listening to him.
Did he have any teeth? Because his mouth always folded in.
Right. No, it was that motherfucker
up in there.
No, it's because he had that motherfucking John Bolton mustache. You don't know. He rocking that John Bolton out there fucking. That's why. Little nearsighted bastard. I read some of the racist shit Gandhi said. I said, oh, you little fucker. Martin Luther King, why you pick this bastard?
Yeah.
Dr. King must have been high.
But going back
it's a thing to Dr. King back there, Lisa. They slipped the Mickey in Dr. King drink. They hit him with the hog.
But going back to the statue, personally, I don't want any black statues up in here. I mean, what would be the purpose? And I just don't see the point. I would never want any black person to be idolized up in this wicked ass place. I'd rather see no black statues at all.
Thank you, Lisa. I was trying to tell people the same thing about Harriet Tubman on the goddamn Harriet Tubman on the damn $20 bill with a goddamn slave master on her back.
You want to know what would be so crazy? You want to know what would be so crazy though? This would be white people's worst nightmare. So imagine if they, and this is hypothetical, but just imagine that all the statues that got taken down were replaced by our freedom fighters. Like imagine they take down the statue of Christopher Columbus and they replaced it with Nat Turner.
They'll burn the world down.
They put one up of the Black Panthers or Malcolm X.
I got
Marcus
one.
Garvey.
Look, since white people don't understand, let us go to the police precinct and put up a picture of Christopher Dorner right in front of a big ass.
That's a good one.
LBC, I got the perfect spot for it.
I got one too.
Frank Rizzo down. So now you can put Christopher Dorner up.
And get this. And also go to every military post and put up a giant size, life-size poster of Michael Johnson.
Johnson. Damn right. And look, with the Jones, they say, thank you for your service. Hey, Torian, that's brilliant, but you got to put that with it. Thank you for your service. Hey, motherfuckers, since y'all don't understand, let us start doing our shit. Look, white folks will write a decree. No statues ever. No one ever needs a statue. We need to put our
you know what, since they praise white Jesus so much, you know, we can leave that there, but instead of having a white Jesus there, just put John Brown's picture up there.
Nah, I'm gonna fuck you up. I know how to do this right here. Watch this. I'm gonna have an all-inclusive white man broke back Jesus. I'm gonna make him a white Jesus, but he gonna be gay. Then I'm gonna look like Boy George.
Wow.
That look, they won't want white Jesus. Ain't that the shit they do to us? Think about it. You will watch a movie. We just did this. Me and this girl was watching a movie one day, and I was like, oh, look at this nigga hanging with these motherfuckers. One black dude, five white people in a rock band. It's 3 men, 1 girl, and the 1 black dude. It's 2 girls, 3 men, and it was 2 girls. No, 4 men, 2 girls, and they all in the rock band. Now, 1 white dude is obviously friends with the other white girl. The other white dude is friends with the other white girl. I'm like, so this nigga just the 6th toe. I said, nah, this nigga moist. She was like, whatever, you always thinking. Then they kissed each other, him and the other white dude. She looked at him, how you know that? I said, because that's what they do to us in movies. It's no such thing as me written in a movie. They're not writing no LVZ types. They're not writing Torian parts. So strong, educated, black, not taking bullshit. That's not Hollywood accessible. So every time we gay.
You know who that character was? That was Billy Porter.
Right. Exactly. And it's fucked up you said that. He did look like a young Billy. Oh, young Billy. Mm-hmm. Lisa can't stand that mother.
I can't stand him either.
Man, nobody can, really. Because that man came out and blamed black men. Look, all that shit going on the street. Black men, you have been the white supremacists of the black community. LGBT community. I said, nigga, I don't know no black man that get no brownie points for beating up no gay man.
Right.
No way. No, it's nowhere in no ghetto, no hood, no suburb where black people live, where a black man get brownie points from other black people for beating up a homosexual. No black man. First thing a nigga will say, nigga, that's a fact. To be honest. Like, you ain't beat up nobody, you beat up somebody gay, nigga. So, I mean, what is he talking about? We don't do nothing to gay people in our community. We don't even really use that slur. To be honest, we don't really use that slur. Right? Look at these motherfuckers. We call them everything else but the slur. We call them moist, fruit booties, everything. Mm-hmm. We don't even use that slur. And the only time we'll make a remark is if they super flamboyant.
Like Billy Porter.
Right.
Yeah.
We normally don't make that remark around a gay person that exudes some type of masculinity. Because normally we don't know. We don't make that assumption about people that they gay. We don't. We normally like, hey, he just like us until something come out like, hey. Because we work with a gay dude, didn't nobody treat him different. And somebody told me, like, you know, he gay. I was like, he gay. Like, you ain't know. I said, to be honest, he didn't do nothing to give me no gay vibes. How am I supposed to know? So, well, all right, he cool with me. He ain't say nothing to me. He ain't say nothing other way. Well, it's cool. But yeah, we don't do that shit. We don't do that. So for Billy Porter to do that bullshit, yeah, fuck Billy Porter.
Mm-hmm.
And then that Essence cover, did you see that?
Mm-hmm. I saw that. Unfortunately, yeah, I said it's because Tariq ass made it a big ass thumbnail, and like, you know, y'all know I go to work I gotta wake up at 2 a.m. So this shit, I done passed out, I done woke up, and it's biggest shit on my TV, like recommendation, red, bussy, and green. So you know how you wake up and you see something, but your mind ain't really processed it yet?
Mm-hmm.
So I woke up, he's out red, bussy, and green. I kind of giggled, right? I said, red, bussy. This like the alarm clock hit me, like it was the alarm. My alarm ain't even going on. Hold up, what the fuck? And I opened up my eyes and said, what he got on? Oh, man. I said, this nigga took one of the most militant thing, a militant symbol, and turned it moist. Leave it to Billy. Billy Bussy Man Porter. Where did he come from? Why is he relevant? What did he do? Huh? Can somebody tell me?
He was a great performer on that casting couch.
Yeah, because I mean, I don't see nothing earth-shattering that he has done.
Well, what have you seen that he did, sis? Like,
to be honest with you, the only thing and I'm being honest, the only thing I ever seen him on, there was a snippet of him on Sesame Street when he had on that tuxedo dress. I saw that. That was it. I have never seen nothing else he was in.
Right, I was about to say, what does he do to make him, you know what I'm saying?
The first time I saw him was on this particular season of American Horror Story. And I was like, this guy is super flamboyant. I didn't know whether he was playing a character that just happened to be gay or if he was. So I said, he playing that role really well. And then months later, I see him. I said, wait a minute, he looks so familiar. And he acts just like this character I saw on American Horror Story. And truth be told, when I put the two and two together, I said, that's not Billy Porter acting. That's Billy Porter being Billy Porter.
Yeah.
And I noticed that in every role that he is in, he plays he literally he doesn't separate himself from his roles. Like, it's like him, he's always playing himself.
Yeah. He can't be nobody but flaming in every show. If Billy gonna be in it, he got to be flaming. And my thing is, like I said, I learned of him by wearing a dress. And what was it? The Oscar. Yeah, that's who I learned about him from. Because when Lisa told me, I was like, who is this guy? And I remember it was some chick over here one day talking about I was going to watch Snowfall. So I was watching a basketball game before it came on. And she's like, can I watch Pose? I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? What is Pose? Oh, it's about this dude. And I said, oh, nah, we don't watch shit like that in my house. I said, I got sons. I don't turn nothing gay on TV. I don't want my kids to, in any way, shape, or form, think I'm cool with that shit.
Yeah.
So I don't put that shit on in my house. I said, yeah, I'm sorry. I said, I ain't even know no shit like that existed. And why are you watching it? I'm just saying, it's a show. You don't have to let your kid watch it. I said, I ain't watching it. Why would I watch it? I like women. I don't want to see no motherfucking men wishing they was women. That's not the same. That's like, why look, that's funny. So they tell men that you have to accept trans women as women. But nobody goes and tells motherfucker cowboys they gotta accept zebras as horses too. Right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't see them saying, you need to ride this giraffe. Nah. No. Fuck that.
I don't know if you heard, but the T class, they came out hard and heavy on Halle Berry recently. Because she was offered this part, and I guess she was supposed to play a transgendered woman, someone who was born. No, let me get it right. Was someone who was a transgendered man or something like that, who was born a woman but like now lives as a man. And apparently, when she was being interviewed, they said that she misgendered them by referring to the character as it or something like that. And you know, they got upset about it, and then so much to the point where they pretty much bullied her out of the role. And she basically said that I'm not going to do it anymore. I apologize. Maybe I should have did some more research about it and everything like that. Now let's pause that right quick. And it's interesting you brought up that show Pose, because I was reading somewhere where one of the actors on that show, who is actually someone who is someone who's transgendered, who was born a man that now lives as a woman, they are really trying to campaign this person to play Storm in the upcoming MCU movies like X-Men and Black Panther. But they saw no problem with that.
What?
I said absolutely not. What? Let them try to even attempt to do something like that. I won't support it.
Hey, Slim, they taking over, Tori. They taking over, y'all. Listen, I was right before he was gonna come on, right? I told y'all I was watching the sports show. I said I was gonna mention this too. I said y'all was gonna probably laugh. Why the fuck I see the first moist look, it's the moist mixture. It's the koi cocktail. Smirnoff red, white, and blue. It had Laverne Cox and some moist nigga doing flips and splits and dancing, popping his pussy in the commercial to sell Smirnoff red, white, and blue. I said, man, and then you can hear the dude announce. I said, damn, they even got a moist announcer. This is the drink of moistness. Let everyone know. If you don't want to be propositioned by men, if you are a man, do not drink Smirnoff red, white, and blue. Don't drink that fruity shit. It's a sign.
And then I saw that Tariq had did a live stream. I think it was before the Billy Porter one, where he was talking about this person who got picked to be some kind of advertisement for Calvin Klein, and they said that they would have y'all gonna laugh at this. It was so confusing when I tried to figure this out. They said they was the first trans lesbian to be on the Calvin Klein ad. So I'm sitting there trying to figure out how in the world does a trans lesbian work, and I think I figured it out after like minutes of trying to really break it down to myself so I could understand. So apparently this person was born a man. They live life as a woman. I guess maybe they did get the operation, I'm not sure, but they still happen to be attracted to women.
Wow. Oh man.
No, that's not what that's called. So you know what that's called? A stupid motherfucker. Listen, we already had a name for that. It's called a stupid motherfucker right there.
Wow. Well, look, Rachel Dolezal tried to claim she's trans race.
Yeah.
What the hell is that?
Yeah.
Her and Martina Biggs. What the fuck is going on with that? This shit is crazy. So a trend. So nigga, so basically you could have stayed what you was and
right.
Yeah, right.
So basically, Torian, that's what I am. I'm a trans lesbian. Ain't this a bitch? Oh no! I didn't know. Say it ain't so. So let me stop.
But technically, you couldn't be because you're not living your life and calling yourself a woman.
You can't be a woman. That's right. You got to be a woman that like women, but really had been a man.
Exactly. And here's the thing: the crazy thing is, like, this person announced themselves as a trans lesbian, so you know they'd be like they all about their pronouns and whatnot. So how do you identify yourself? Do you still call yourself a he, a she, a he, she, a she, he? Like, how would you? And I saw the picture of this person. This person still lives their life as a woman, but when I saw the billboard or I saw the picture, this person still had a mustache and a goatee.
White people, man.
Yeah, that's craziness there.
What the fuck? And he'd get offended that you don't think he like women. What type of shit?
That's sort of like what it's almost like what Bruce Jenner did when he got the operation to live life as, I'm not gonna call him now, I'm just calling him Bruce Lynch Jenner, and said that he was still attracted to women. And I don't even think, to my knowledge, they said he didn't really get the complete operation, if you know what I mean. I'm like, you could have just stayed a guy for all of that. You chose to want to live as a. So basically, you got tired of living as a man. You wanted to change into a woman so you could give yourself the title of lesbian. I'm telling you, the confusion is real.
A lot of this shit is the high racism with these motherfuckers. They call themselves minorities too. That's what I believe.
I know why Bruce Jenner sped up his operation, because he was trying to get out of that accident he was in with that person who died. And he's like, well, if I change my identity to Bruce Lynch Jenner and it's documented, they can't get me for that crime. And they didn't, because technically Bruce Lynch Jenner didn't commit the accident, quote unquote.
Yeah, Bruce Jenner don't exist.
Yeah, Bruce Jenner no longer exists.
Mm-hmm. I bet you he would still exist.
Thank you. I'm about to say, Lisa, let that be a nigga. Pick who you want to be, because a nigga's going to jail. Fred, Jeff, Bruce Lynn, Joyce, whoever. That shit crazy. Motherfucker, everybody catching the COVID now. Keisha Lance got it.
Mm-hmm.
My nickname for her is Sister Girl. Right. You can't tell me she don't be on them Zoom calls be talking about girl. Yes. You can't tell me she don't be one of them.
Yeah. She also strikes me as one of them Negroes that be passing judgment on black people too much.
Oh yeah, you can always tell by the look on her face whenever she got to talk about black people. It's like one of utter disappointment. Like, she's always mad with us about something, but when it comes to white people, she want to, be all like light and everything. That's what made me mad about her initially when she tried to come at black people after what happened at that CNN building. And then she was bigging up Ted Turner. I'm like, do you know who Ted Turner was? He was more than just someone who founded CNN. And then when she tried to big up that white police chief, the one who resigned after the Rayshard Brooks thing, I said, well, sister girl, what you got to say about that? You just gave her so much praise like 2 weeks ago when you was talking about us, but now you ain't got nothing to say because she resigned.
Yeah.
Watch for the uptake. Now, I saw a stat, Lisa, that was kind of funny. They saying that shootings are up this time of year in the black community by 100-fold.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning that, like, if we was at 88, we at 188 now. Now, what's so funny about this is we've been in quarantine in most of these states, yet we still find ourselves victims of this gun violence. Now, mind you, still people are out. Things are still going to happen, and I understand that. But how come nobody seems to find it suspicious that right when we talking about defund the police, more heightened criminal activity seems to be happening, which trying to.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, I don't believe in coincidence. I think shit happens for a reason. And that shit, I said, man, hold up. You just coming out with this stat now, and then you talking about, but so many people want to defund the police. Bro, hold up.
And notice that it's in places that are heavily talking about defunding the police. I mean, well, Chicago, that's a given because they always come after Chicago, so they never going to veer from the script whether they talk about defunding the police or not. But notice that in Atlanta, it was heavy talk about defunding the police, and then they said all these shootings happened in Atlanta, which never ever gets talked about on the level of Chicago. And the same thing happened in New York recently for the same weekend. And when they said that they defunded the police like $1 billion, and then this happens in New York, and they never really talk about it like that, like they do Chicago. So I see what they're doing. They're doing it in places that had those heavy talks about defunding the police, and it just so happens that the areas that they talk about are very black populated. They are not slick. And they think we dumb and can't figure this out.
Mm-hmm.
And meanwhile, at the same time, it's a blackout of all the protests. It's a media blackout. The only people who are showing the protests are Fox, who are showing old clips of when white people were setting the police precinct on fire.
Or you got to go on social media to find it.
That don't count. We still got to look at the vast majority, like I was talking to Santee about. I still watch TV. It's still people who get a lot of their information from TV. And when it's a Fox viewer, you gotta count him as a Fox. You know the last thing they going to is something on the internet supporting. You know what I'm saying? The thing about the internet, the good thing is sometimes it's unnarrated. The bad thing is sometimes it's unnarrated. You dig? So you can put your own spin to it.
Mm-hmm.
Like we see an uprising, they see a riot. So yeah, the protests could still be all over the internet, but they could still be calling it a riot.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Did you?
Go ahead.
That's just like what that sheriff in Clay County talking about. He wanted to deputize the people down there in Florida if they saw any violent protesters and everything like that. And when he got called out on it, he tried to roll back his comments. The demographics in Clay County, Florida is like 80% white. So if you're going after any so-called protesters, most of them are going to look like that. Yeah. And to my knowledge, from people that live down there, they said it hasn't been any violent protests down here like ever, even when they were going on. Like initially early on.
Exactly. My man Frank Smith said the police are doing the shootings because their overtime pay got cut. That's real talk too. Yep. They talk about this. Ain't this some funny shit? This is the only profession in the world where if you don't do your job, you get rewarded. And then they figure, let's add more people.
Mm-hmm.
This is the only profession in the world where if a motherfucker don't do their job, where it could potentially be life-threatening if they don't do their job, they go, oh, well, you know, mistakes happen. We ain't going to replace you. You could work at the trash company and miss 2 houses. You might lose your job. You could work as a taxi cab driver, have one motherfucking racist incident, and you can't drive no more. You can work as a bus driver. Motherfuckers spit on you, you hit them, you still get fired. We know all this. You could be a police officer and not solve a crime, break an innocent person's neck, get paid leave and another job and $1 million in a GoFundMe. That's how it works.
Mm-hmm.
So now that they being held accountable, they don't like this shit. Now you seeing police unions coming out crying and all of this old bullshit. Oh, we need police. You don't know what the streets gonna be like. Now, what they didn't tell you was the beginning 21 days of the protest, just like the beginning 2 months of the lockdown, crime went down. Remember that. Lisa, you reported that. It wasn't no crime them first 21 days. Mm-hmm. The only crimes they was reporting was so-called looting.
Right.
Only people they was reporting with weapons was white people who was agitators, remember? The man with the sword got his ass whooped. And remember, think about it, everybody that had weapons was white and against the protesters, and all of them got their ass whooped.
Yeah, like that guy with the who had the bow and the arrow.
Got his ass, remember, and ain't noticed. All these motherfuckers are armed, and they got beat up by people with their hands and feet. So that means none of these protesters had guns.
Mm-hmm.
Only people out here with weapons are agitators, white supremacists. So all that shit was going on. That was the only violence to report. They wouldn't report that. Then all of a sudden, defund the police start catching on. A law passed, and now all of a sudden, 88 shootings on 4th of July. Get the fuck out of here. Get out of here.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just Chicago. It was everywhere. I was like, damn. Now, what's so funny, I live in an all-black neighborhood. I seen fireworks. I smelled grills. I even seen a trash can on fire because motherfuckers are throwing the fireworks in the trash can. First of all, black folks, why are y'all shooting fireworks on 4th of July? We wasn't free. But anyway, aren't we grown enough to know not to throw them in the trash can right after you're done? I seen all of that, but you know why I bring all that up? I didn't hear one gunshot.
Me neither.
So how was all this murder happening? When the niggas wasn't even shooting.
Mm-hmm.
But all this murder was going on. All these shootouts was happening. I'm just trying to figure it out. I've been in the house we've been in the house 3 full months up here in Maryland, DC area, y'all. Only time we've been outside was the protest police killing us. My point is, how are niggas beefing in Southeast with each other? You ain't even been around nobody for 4 months.
Mm-hmm.
But they so mad at each other that they shooting at each other. Huh? I ain't seen you in 4 months. I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to go outside. I gotta wear a mask to go into the liquor store. I gotta wear a mask to go and buy my blunts. I got time to be beefing with a nigga right now. I don't even know who's who. That don't. Yeah. That shit just don't sound right to me, y'all. If it was a regular nigga that killed that little boy, I hope that motherfucker get locked up and they throw away the key. But as far as I'm concerned, everybody's a suspect to me.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, y'all, I'm about to cut this short. I thank y'all for joining me, Lisa and Torian.
No problem. This was a good discussion as usual.
Man, I appreciate it so much, y'all coming through. I miss being with Lisa this way. I said, you know what? I'm gonna do one. I'm gonna get Tori and True Roy at least on the joint, and we gonna chop it up.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad to have y'all. Love y'all and family. Love y'all out there. Thank y'all for the people who sent something to the Cash App. I appreciate it. Appreciate all y'all tuning in. Y'all already subscribed to Lisa and Torian and me. So y'all keep safe. Don't be in the woods with no motherfucking by yourself.
Yeah.
Without no gun. Yeah. Look, if y'all ain't learned shit from us today, you at least learned this. Don't be in the woods by yourself, God damn it, hoping that some white people gonna save you. Oh, True Roll came in the bill. Oh, that's True Roll. True Roll. I was just about to go on, and then True Roll came in.
Oh my goodness.
I was just about to go off. True Roll just came in. What you got to say to the people, us?
Juicy, juicy, juicy. Cops is getting fired for all kind of shit now. They can break a fingernail and get fired. That goes to show you how grimy they get down throughout America. These people, it's just like the cop did this. You're fired. You're fired. You know. Well, a lot of them already quitting anyway. They know the gig is up. But I was listening to ULBC talking about, they was talking about, all the looting and all of that. And I had did a video about this mayor up in Chicago. He was riding with the cops, and he jumps out and attacked his brother. And stuff. And the mayor used to be an ex-cop. And so now he's going throughout the community, taking a knee, trying to explain this, trying to explain that. And Black folks ain't hearing it no more. And I'm gonna tell y'all, when I seen that footage yesterday of them brothers and sisters doing the fourth with the combat boots, the fatigues, the assault rifles, the last time I seen something like that was when my mom was in the Panthers, but I didn't fully understand what was going on then because I was so young. That shit scares them, and what really frightens them is to see a Black woman right side by side with her man with the assault rifles, too. Because this, it was a trip. When I was watching the video, the TV reporter asked the Black folks, what y'all running around with those guns for? Y'all didn't say that shit a couple of weeks ago when them white militia groups running up to federal buildings because they pissed off about coronavirus. They don't question nothing. We can get the clearance and everything to get a gun, and these owners at these gun stores, they won't sell them to you. They won't. They think they're the only one supposed to have a damn gun.
Yeah, that's why you got to look for a Black gun shop if you
right.
want to find one.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
because remember that video y'all put up a while back of the boy in Richmond. Was that Richmond, I believe, where the white man would not sell him a gun.
Yep.
Wouldn't sell him a gun.
And now you know why they don't want to do it, because when you see what happened in Atlanta, that's why. That's what they fear. And then I don't know, and Drew, I don't know if you saw it either, because I was watching the whole thing because I actually follow their founder on Instagram. I even watched the video where he was explaining how they were going to get information and the requirements and everything like that. Like, this is like legit. And when I was watching the video, what a lot of people don't know is a longer video other than the one we saw. What people don't know and the media won't show is that he was actually escorting, him and that crew was escorting Rayshard Brooks' sister to the bus. Like, they walked like this long stretch so she could get her and whoever she was with to get on the bus before he was interviewed when it was over. Now the media is not going to talk about that.
They manipulate things because they can really set up the narrative like they want. And another thing that I've been paying close attention to, they won't show no more marching on mainstream media. It's like it ain't no more marching going on, and to show you how all these media outlets are in cahoots. Okay, CNN, you know, they try to come off like they like to come off like they so liberal, and you know, and then they always talking about what Fox is doing, but all the media outlets are in unison. None of them are showing any of the marching because
they ain't showing one march in 4 weeks. They ain't showing one march in 2 weeks.
And see, the thing is, this is how they get down. Lisa had showed a video a couple of years ago. Yeah, can you hear me? Hello? Did I lose my way?
I think he was probably on the phone.
Oh, Lisa had put up a video.
Yeah, go ahead.
You remember when Lisa was doing a lot of those videos of the opiates and stuff? And there's a picture of this white couple strung out on heroin, and the little white kids is in the back seat and stuff. And then white folks was making phone calls to different media outlets talking about they don't show that no more. It's bothering them. They even did that during 9/11. They started making calls talking about we can't see, we can't watch none of that. But check how they get down. When that pig grabbed our royal daughter by the neck and slung her across the classroom, they had that shit in heavily rotation. I mean, they wore it out. So they got things that they do. All of them people are one and the same. It'll be on the equivalent. You got a lawyer and you know, you fighting this big case, and then at lunchtime your lawyer is having lunch with the opposing. That's just how they make their living and everything.
Yep.
And so the thing is, when you were talking about that video they showed in rotation, they wanted people, especially young black kids, to see that, like, look, if you get out of line with us, that's what's going to happen to you. They wouldn't dare show what we saw in Atlanta in heavy rotation on the news. Like, they are trying their hardest to keep that regulated strictly to the internet, because you know on the internet they can't really regulate that. But with the mainstream media, they wouldn't dare put it out there. And if they do, could you imagine what Fox News would say if they showed that on their network?
Yeah, they purposely not showing. You don't see nobody having funerals or anything. And
that's what I said.
And they show this is what gets me about them. Okay, it's like check this out. Anytime you get to talking about ADOS, it kills the enemy for us to look like we possibly gonna get someone, and then they'll start throwing other groups in. Elizabeth Bourne is famous for that. What about the white people in the Appalachian Mountains? What about this group? What about that group? They don't want to see us stand alone to get anything. What the fuck about them? My attitude is
always anytime they whenever they bring up poor white people, my answer is simply, that's your family. Give them some money.
Well, I take it like this. This system was built for them, and if you cannot prosper from the very system that was set up for you to thrive in, you shit out of luck. You shit out of luck. I don't feel sorry for them.
But hold up. If you got rich family, right? Rich family, one rich relative that's close to you. Normally, if you in a black family, he takes care of some of the big shit. There's money involved in the family. You can call him for certain things. Well, if you're white, you should have more than one of those. So don't tell me about them white folk in the Appalachian Mountains. You the one that forgot about them. Don't tell me about them. I don't got nothing to do with them. You forgot about them.
And
they didn't pick no top.
That's the crap that they always pull. Let's go back real quick on the Starbucks situation with those two brothers. I mean, I felt it in my being before anything was said. I got up and I told folks on my channel, I said, this not going to turn out the way you think. And so those two brothers accepted $1 a piece. And
no, those two coons, those two coons.
Okay, the two coons accept $1 a piece, and then they were saying that they're gonna put the money into the community and stuff. And I said to myself, I said, I bet you down the road those dudes are gonna end up not being friends, because in the art of war, when you got the enemy by the balls and where you want them, you be very unforgiving about what you getting ready to receive. See, they the only group they come to with when it look like we're gonna get something and do it for a good cause and donate to this and donate to that. Fuck y'all. We can set up our own organizations and do that for ourselves because it's a good tax write-off and everything. They always want to appeal to our heart. What about these programs and stuff? Well, what about the programs, the money that y'all throwing on it? See, people have to remember when they be making these donations, this shit that they doing, they still control the narrative. They still appropriate the funds the way they want to appropriate it. And they'll do some crap like this. I seen this in Oakland. They got a district in Oakland called the Murder Doves, and it has a big recreation center. What they'll do is buy some super cheap paper thin ass t-shirts with some crazy slogan on it, have a barbecue, then they just cooking hamburgers and hot dogs and stuff, or they'll do a toy drive. It's all kind of stuff that they do. And they'll do some photo outs in the community, because check this out. Anytime that they giving away turkeys or something like that during the holidays, they always go to the black community and show it. They don't show them white community.
I have no idea what you're talking about, True Roy. They don't do that shit around here. I know this though. I know one thing they do that I'm tired of, what black people do to go back to the Starbucks. Why the fuck do we always settle when it comes to us getting what we deserve? How come we're the only people that don't ask for the max, the absolute max? We go for the settlement when it comes to, I was talking about that on Ticket TV. We was talking about reparations. Ticket TV was arguing with this brother saying, look, brother, I want everything. I want it all. I want money. I want land. I want this. I want that. He said, well, you can't just look now. No, I just want the land. I just want the land. You can't be greedy now. I said, so I came on. I came on and I spoke to him. Well, I came on, I spoke to him, and I'm trying to explain to him, fool, they don't only owe us land, they owe us money and weapons too. Oh no, you being ridiculous. You sound crazy. I said, I sound crazy. Every year, the United States gives weapons to people who eventually use it against them. Every year, they gave weapons to Saddam Hussein. They gave weapons to Osama bin Laden. They gave them weapons and money so they could get land. They helped the Jews keep their land, give them nuclear missiles, and give them money every year. So I'm trying to figure out what was wrong with me asking for that. Oh no, that's crazy. That's idiot. And that's what I'm talking about. When it comes to us, we are the only people that's ever asked to then start, look within yourself. Don't hurt them. Now, don't crush them. Don't ask for everything. No, you ask for everything in a leg, and then you settle for everything.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. What they have done in this system is try to shame us when we sue or anything. White folks will sue their mama. They don't give a damn. They don't come to them appealing to their heart and all that kind of stuff like that. That's not our responsibility. And then, like, when you bring up reparations or something, I remember years ago they were saying, well, this is not about buying a Cadillac. So now they want to monitor how you spend the money and everything. If I want to get a Cadillac, I'm gonna get a Cadillac. I don't have to explain nothing. Or
my thing is, wait a minute. So you mean to tell me with all the reparations the Jews get, they don't buy no cars? They don't buy new furniture. They don't do none of that with their money, huh?
Tell them, Lee. What them motherfuckers living in shacks that they build out of straw, motherfucker? What is this? The three little pigs? Fuck out of here.
So who the hell gets reparations and then don't spend it on family needs? Who gets reparations and do that? And True Royal, I got a special message for you. I got 5 pounds of cherries that I'm eating for you right now.
Well, I'm eating yours.
Oh,
I'm eating yours right now, Lisa. You know,
Hey, look, I ate mine before we came on air. I'm with my sister, Auntie, the 2 women who love cherries just as much as me. I punished them joints for we got on it.
Lisa not right.
These are big too. These are probably the ones I've seen.
Look, that's one thing. One thing we can say about the COVID virus. It's been great for cherry season, hasn't it? I ain't got a bad bag yet. It's been great for cherry season. I don't know what it is.
They're not after the cherries, LVZ. They're after fast food and restaurants and bars. See, we're after produce. That's why we're getting the best of it.
Yeah.
That's why them Becky's be screaming in the streets, because they ain't never intended to cook and shit. You go to the store. I seen them. They had in the store in the meat section a pack wrapped up for to make fajitas. Had the steaks already cut up, all
everything.
And you just warm it up. I said, damn, this bitch don't cook or do nothing at all. You know,
it was bad. Everything.
It's funny they stole so much from us except for how to season their food.
Damn sure. Damn sure.
When the black woman got up out of their damn houses, their man was looking for them to cook, and that's when she became a feminist and everything.
Damn right. That's the truth.
Dinners,
that is the truth. The minute, look, when they had slaves, it wasn't no feminism. They wasn't talking as feminism. Women was literally getting raped in their house, and they wasn't tripping. It wasn't no feminism. The minute sisters got out of their house and stopped making the cornbread and the flapjacks and bitch, you got to make this now. Oh no, goddamn it! I need to write the vote.
You know what they have tried to do, and they never stuck. They have white people have always tried to make it like the black man is so misogynist and stuff, and try to get up in a black woman's ear like a black man gonna hold you back. I ain't never had a black man try to hold me back from going to work or doing anything like that. Y'all don't have that.
First of all, there should be no woman of another race telling us about our man. That right there, I won't have.
That's right.
That's effective.
That's what they did.
But True Roy, that don't bother me as much as the motherfucking coon ass Negroes and Negresses that be trying to say that shit now too. You know what I'm saying? Black men hold black women. I said, for real, it was this one. It was a sister. Where was she at? She was on Facebook talking about.
She was in the divest sector of Facebook.
I guess, man, talking about how brothers black men try to hold black women back. They don't do this. They don't. I was like, sister, last time I checked, it wasn't a black man that choked Sandra Bland out, but it was black men that was riding for. Last time I checked, it wasn't a black man in an Asian nail shop getting his ass whooped, but it was black men trying to shut that shop down. So please stop with this bullshit. We hold you back. Last time I checked, black women get the most degrees of anybody in this country, and black men are the proudest of it.
Well, the black woman, unquote, have always worked out of the house, where the white woman calls it her career and all that kind of shit like that. These women are so full of crap. But her problem is she feels entitled. She feels like it's her turn to run this country. A white man not gonna let it happen. He may not outwardly talk about her ass, but he know how she get down, because we know who's keeping these isms alive. It's them damn Becky's, and that's why you're seeing them having meltdowns and shit like that in the street. And if you notice, not too many white boys, I haven't seen any of them really, is out there defending them Karens and Becky's on the street. They leaving them to themselves.
No, they not, True. Are you right?
Mm-hmm. You know,
it was funny. It's a Karen channel that a white dude made, and he's putting up Karen videos every day. It's a It's good on YouTube. It's a Karen channel. A white guy made.
Yeah, well, you know what, LVZ, one white guy came when I did Alameda, Karen.
Mm-hmm.
A white guy came and thanked me for putting those videos up, and he said, "I'm tired of that bitch." Yeah.
All that extra drama. But you know what? This is what I wanted to say. I know y'all seen it. That incident that they had up there in Seattle, that Karen that was screaming, that incident with that gay brother. Now that was a pretty long video, and she was screaming so loud it echoed. You notice? No cop showed up at all. Not one damn bit. And stuff.
No cops ever show up for that, man. Come on,
that's what you come on, LVZ. A white woman screaming to the top of her lungs.
They don't know.
9 times out of 10, the cops is there.
Look, she can scream, but she got to call the police. She got caught.
Yeah, or somebody in the neighborhood gonna call the police. And she was hollering so fucking much. She wanted him killed. And
she wanted somebody to pay attention to what was going on, but ain't nobody paying attention to that shit.
Jump out the car. I'm married to a black man. I've been marching. I've been this and that. And all that kind of stuff. They feel like when they go out there and do something, oh, I'm down with the cause and all of that kind of stuff. That bitch need to be.
Why do they do that though when they know we can check you?
They think, well, you know, at the end of the day, Becky thinks she's superior over everything, even her man.
Well, we know about a lot of the marches anyway. Look at how many over the years have claimed they marched with Dr. King, and when we look at the footage, it wasn't that damn many white people out there. Come on.
Which one was you? I got 5 white people here, and there's 4 white people in the march. Which one was you?
One thing that we've been seeing is how they come and unglued up in these streets of America and stuff. It's like just thinking about what possibly had happened. Cops is quitting their jobs. Becky's is screaming. White boy screaming and hollering in the other day up in Costco with something on a shirt and stuff like that. They are coming unhinged.
But this is the thing.
Yeah, I saw that video about the guy with the shirt. It said, what did it say? Running this superior or something about running this world
from 1776. Yeah, and stuff like that. And you know what, Taryn, I seen a video the other day. This brother was trying to arrest this white boy, and the white boy was screaming, "I can't breathe!" And
I seen that shit.
That shit was so phony.
No, what was funny though, that brother had to touch him up a little bit. Brother had to hit him up a little bit.
They don't think they're supposed to be arrested or anything. That's like that Becky up there in Arizona. Tearing up Target, and she was talking plenty shit to the cops and stuff. They hauled her ass off to jail, but they didn't pounce on her like they normally pounce on us. But even you can just tap their wrists and they just go off because they don't feel like they supposed to. They just have this sense of entitlement, and I don't think they fully realizing they man is so done with them. They not rescuing you. You done wore out 911 so much.
Them motherfuckers ain't done with them. Them motherfuckers is gangsters too. Look, it's just them men always been like that about them, True Raw. That's why they bash us out of here with club and drag. My thing is, what we need to notice about all of these Becky videos, we gonna put to bed tonight. We gonna put it to bed by using them videos. Look. These videos are proof that it ain't just old white people, okay? That's holding on to it's old white people, but the racism is dying out. No, you saying people in their 30s, 40s, 20s. You saying people in their 50s. You're not saying all 70 and 60-year-old. I'm tired of you niggas saying Black Lives. No, you saying motherfuckers my age and younger still practicing white supremacy, and what do you think they're teaching their kids? I'm tired of people saying this shit that is dying out. If you look in the streets, the kids just ain't got shit to do.
It has never died out.
And check how they get down. That they flipping birdies off to a black man. A white woman is doing this, but she'll sit up when a cop show up talking about, I fear for my life, I this or that. Months ago, when that white woman was messing with that brother delivering the package, soon as a white person popped up, oh, he did me like this, and blah 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 blah, and the fool not realizing she being filmed for her antics. That's the one which we all know this keeping this shit going. She just keeps shit going all the time, and her man know what she's on.
So they been doing that. Mm-hmm. I mean, come on. That's what I'm saying, Sherrod. That's why I say I can't agree with what they done with them. This is how it all started. Let's think about it. Let's think about Rosewood. They know damn well that man ain't right. They know that woman was cheating with a white man.
Yeah, the whole community knew. Mm-hmm.
Then let's go to fucking Tulsa. They know damn well that boy ain't do nothing to that white woman. They just needed a reason to go up in Tulsa and take what they had.
Well, that's like with Emmett Till. When I was doing research, they said that white woman was pissed because her husband wouldn't work, and he made her work at some little store in the town, and she was famous for being damn near half naked and flirting with men. They knew her reputation in the community. They knew it.
And that's why the boy looked at her like that, like she was a whore, and whistled. If he did whistle, that's why he did it. She looked like a whore. He was from Chicago. He used to seeing women like that. They were prostitutes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that's why the bitch grabbed the gun. Because I was saying that before you came on when we was on earlier. I said that. I was teaching Jabari about Emmett Till yesterday. And it was, I got the DVD and all of that. His cousins was on it talking about, yeah, he did whistle, but he was like, he didn't mean that. He was just a kid. That's how he was. He was a kid. He was playing.
Basically, what it was is that he had a speech impediment. So when he talked through his teeth, sometimes a whistle sound would come out.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
You know what? It's still, Carolyn Bryant is a piece of shit for what she did to that child. And come to find out about 3 years ago, her old decrepit ass is going to admit he didn't do nothing. I hope that dies a painful death.
Exactly.
One of those guys that killed Emmett Till. He one of them had stomach cancer, and they said it was a very painful death. And then she even lost the child. It makes me go back. This is the ultimate smackdown with the Trayvon Martin case, and George Zimmerman's friend, that white guy that bailed him out of jail, and he was all on CNN and stuff. And when they caught up to his ass, Frank Taffy, his son died. His father, I think it was like 3 deaths in the family. A lot of them. It was all kind of shit. And after they finished interviewing him, he said, "Oh, I'm just trying to get my life right with God and all this type of stuff like that."
Well, it was actually 2 sons and a brother. That's what happened.
And then his daughter disowned him because she was getting backlash, and she won't have nothing to do with him. And so then he gonna tell us what we already knew. Oh, Zimmerman, he wasn't no good, and he was this and that, and he was trying to redeem himself in the civil trial. You took joy in being racist. You didn't give a damn if that child had got killed. And see, this is the problem. This is the problem with white folks. This is the problem with white folks. They want to decide how they're going to be punished. They want to. That's how they want to do it. And what I've been catching in these articles, they'll go out of their way to list all these different companies that's donating money for this and donating money for that. We didn't even ask you for that fucking money. So that's what you do. We still
don't matter because they donating it too. We don't touch that shit. We don't touch that.
We don't see it or anything. They all this money they so-called donating, where the hell it go? Where does
They
it go?
giving it to another white man. That's not helping us. But
Administrative
look,
fees. Administrative fees.
I'm glad you said. Damn. Goddamn it, settlements. Because I was just thinking about it. Corin Gaines, $39 million to her family was granted.
I remember.
And I think they deserve that. Unfortunately, the cops still have not been prosecuted, which shows you that Marilyn Mosby and all of them other motherfuckers that was up here wasn't shit. They did nothing to prosecute these people. Came in her house and killed her for a traffic ticket.
Yeah.
And then tried to deny the 39 million, but then a judge said no, they get it, and they will get a $39 million settlement. And I hope that they take care of that little boy who was shot, and I hope her family, get themselves in a good situation.
LBZ, did you know that with Miss Taylor who got killed, that one of the reasons why she ended up getting killed, it was all about gentrifying that neighborhood, and them black folks wasn't getting out of that neighborhood quick enough. And my husband said something deep. He said, well, usually when they want to take property and deem it eminent domain, they cash you out and stuff. So they was trying to say this area was crime infested, tried to have the postal service involved in it and all of that. Even the mayor is hooked up in that and everything. That shit is really, really messy based on...
I read about that.
Yeah, based on gentrification. Something I've been saying for the longest about the gentrification. And I noticed this in San Francisco. It's so expensive to live over there. Families started coming across the bay. Well, down a number of schools in San Francisco. And what that is, that's federal dollars that the city don't get, because in order for a community to thrive, you got to have children and all of this. And you have like these dot-commer neighborhoods and the gay neighborhoods, and they overall don't produce. So the gentrification is not quite working out. Or in Emeryville, California, they were doing some gentrification over there, and they had like 300 condos over there that they couldn't even give away because they not producing at all. And then the other thing that gets me, they keep saying we 11% of the population. Well, if we dropping like flies the way like they say they do, because every time they bring up how many more cases of coronavirus it is, we shouldn't even exist at this point. Y'all just wearing that shit out.
I know that as far as the gentrification concerned, well, that don't shock me because that's how you gentrify. The first thing you do is you have to label that area as crime ridden, and then you round it around police. You have you make it. You over exaggerate the amount of crime that's going on over there.
But it escalates all the time.
Yeah, you over exaggerate it. I mean, you find somebody with, like, back in the day, like in Berry Farms where I lived at. Oh, Berry Farms terrible. Now I lived there. I knew it wasn't terrible. I go outside play every day. How the fuck you gonna tell me where I live? Oh no, people get shot all the time. Last person I know got shot was but when you watch TV and then they tell you, oh, well, this happening now. Well, no, those isolated incidents. Oh, he was a drug kingpin. No, the nigga had 2 8-balls and a working 50. He's not.
When they talk about that, everything, the way they be exaggerating shit, you would think when you in the hood, it's just people just shooting all day across the street.
And that's what I'm saying. So that's like that. That's how they start gentrifying neighborhoods, though. What they do, that's why it don't shock me that that is part of a gentrification. They would have people running up they have police kicking in doors in them neighborhoods because this supposed to be such a bad neighborhood. All they were was some pissy corner store, dime rock sellers. It wasn't real motherfucker hustlers for real. They was just somebody juggling rocks trying to get by. But they were still kicking their doors in, slamming the children. And then the next thing you know, they say, well, this neighborhood bad. We got to shut it down. And we got to disperse.
You know,
And
LBC, I had did a number of videos about what you're talking about in Chicago, and I was trying to put that together, and I didn't voice it, but I was thinking, and I said, I wonder, is they trying to just flush them out of the neighborhood? And I had did
ain't
four,
no
I had did 4 videos, 4 different families where this sister was having a birthday party for her 6-year-old son. The cops come in there, banging down everything, takes the kids' cake, throw it on the floor. They digging all in the walls and in the ceilings and stuff like that. They done pulled the guns on the children. In the same, it's the same MO. The so-called person that they have the warrant out on, they've been in jail for the longest and all of that. You cannot tell me they technology
and then
up
the
like
problem
that.
is, they either always at the wrong house, which nobody ever pays attention to. If this neighborhood is so bad, why you always only got one warrant for one house? It's 80 motherfucking houses in a neighborhood. It's one house that supposedly got one bad person, and the whole neighborhood is bad because of that. That we're the only people that do that. I mean, we're the only people that they do that to. You think about it. Where do mafia guys live at? Because they got a neighborhood. Would that not be a bad neighborhood?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So, like I said, that's how you start gentrification, and that's how they did in Chicago. They said Cabrini Green was horrible. They said it got to get tore down, and when they tore it down, they made it so people couldn't move there. They said that shit where I lived at, in Southwest. Oh man, all these dilapidated buildings. We're gonna build condos. We're gonna build this. We're gonna build that, and they did that, and they made it unaffordable for us to move there. That is what they do. That's how you gentrify.
Yeah,
that is part of the plan.
But it's not taken whole like it's supposedly through, because in order for a community to thrive, you got to have children, and those federal dollars is leaving because it's going to go wherever the families are located. Like Dr. Frances Welsing said, she said the gay community is a dead society before they even start, because they can't produce children. So it's a dead society off the jump. It might thrive a little bit, but that gentrifying is not taking hold. It's too many white folks dying, can't have no damn children, and all of that.
Oh no, that's true. But shit, that it don't matter. We ain't got no neighborhood. That's how they do that. See, the only thing gonna end up happening. The funny shit is, what's gonna end up happening is they gonna do what they were supposed to do anyway. True, Roy, by basically what you're saying. If enough people can't move in these places, because I see it here in DC, believe it or not. I be like, they gotta import people because it's DC to move here in some of these new joints, and they still ain't filling up. They still building and still gotta rent. So some black people who moved out in the suburbs gonna move back to DC. That's happening now. I see that. But also, like you said, what's gonna end up happening, not enough white people gonna be able to fill these joints up. You gonna have to sell them back to black people, and basically all you're gonna do is have renovated a neighborhood for somebody that lived there anyway. But all you should have did that in the first fucking place.
Yeah.
That's all you should have did. You should have did that in the first place. You didn't have to tear these neighborhoods down and then move these people all over the place and gentrify. You could have renovated these neighborhoods and let them people keep living there. You could have did. But that's not what you wanted to do. You could have improved their quality of life. Because look, proof is in the pudding. Every area that gets gentrified still gets frequented by the same black people who used to live there, and they take advantage of all of the motherfucking new stores and shops that's around where they used to live at. So basically, those people feed that economy. Well, shit, why not have them live there? They spend all their money there.
Yeah. It's like even with this something that me and Lisa have talked about a couple of times behind the scenes, basically what we were talking about. We remember when it was no crack. We remember when it was no AIDS and stuff. And what I've learned about coronavirus, they always keep throwing in how we're getting it disproportionately. The people that spread diseases are the ones that have the means to travel abroad and all of that. And this is how they've been wording it. And I even caught the mayor, the governor in New York even said, this is how they say it. Let me
and
say
he got mad that they said the China virus because he said it came from somebody from Europe.
Yeah, there you go. That's how they wording it. They're saying, because they were saying it like this. Well, people go to Europe, and then when they come back from Europe, 10 days later, a lot of people come up sick with corona virus and stuff. And we still suffer from the same syndrome with the Black community, 6 by 6. We don't really leave our communities that far because we don't have a lot of money and stuff. So, they always, again, want to deem the Black community crime infested, disease infested, and all these different things. And see, like even with when AIDS first came out, the ones that they were showing who was getting it, it was white males that had money and they could travel anywhere because they was having, they even do it to this day, go to different countries and have sex with whoever they want to have.
It's another thing, true about us traveling that we don't talk about, okay? Especially because of Europe. I'm glad he said Europe because watch this. And people, especially in this chat room, are going to laugh because they're going to know what I'm talking about. This is what you mean when you say, I know what you mean, but some of us do got the money. And some of us who do have the money would like to go, but you're not encouraged to go to Europe. Most Black people are encouraged to go to other Black places. Think about most times you talk about Black people traveling outside the country, they talk about Dominican Republic, they'll talk about Jamaica, they'll talk about other places like that where other Black people are, even Africa. Most of the time you don't hear us talk about Europe. Now, when you do, I do got a few friends who go to Italy. I had a friend who actually lived in Italy, and he left from here and went to Italy recently too. So I know a couple of people that done that.
But LBZ, it ain't enough collectively.
Hold up. Watch. You got people like in the New York area. You got people, Black Brits, that come straight to New York and live in New York. You do. But you know what? You get laugh, Cheryl. They don't go back. You know why? Because if they do, they stuck. They stuck, Cheryl. Slick Rick, he never went back. They sent that nigga back to Europe. He couldn't come back. Then it's a rapper. That is a rapper named MF Doom. They sent him to Europe. He went to Europe. He can't come back. So Black Tariq Nasheed, he can't go back to Europe. So when you think about it, we don't go to Europe like that, not only because we ain't got money, but because a lot of time we can't get back.
but see, collectively, overall, in our race, we don't have the means to travel like that frequently to leave an impact. Yeah, there's always some Black folks that can get out and do that, but they the one that have the means to do that, and they do a lot of traveling, and these are the people that's spreading this shit and stuff. They the one that's doing it. And like I said before, when AIDS first came out, that disease, they kept showing gay white males. Now all they talk about, you would think in this space and time that AIDS came from the Black community, and these fools telling us that it came out of Africa, basically saying that a Black man had sex with a green monkey, and a monkey is strong as 3 damn men. I mean, it's so and so.
Nah, that was stupid white people saying the green monkey. People were just saying, crackers did say it was a monkey. Somebody had sex with a monkey. That was just stupid people saying that green.
I'm just letting you know how ridiculous it is, and the things that I'm talking about, they ain't changed at all. It's the same narrative. Yeah. When you look up 5 or 10 years later, with the coronavirus, it started in the black community and stuff. Because when
nah, they ain't gonna say that. That can't happen, Trevor. I got pushback on that.
They have said that. They even said that about the Spanish.
Nah, but this is the problem. This is the problem. Now, they didn't say it started in the black community. They said it's prevalent in the black community. But the problem, this is why they won't. I'm telling you, they can't do that, and you know they can't.
No, I know they can't do that, but they doing it anyway. LVZ.
They not gonna be able. They not doing it. True. Know why they not doing it, and they can't do it. If you got a president the whole time saying that the shit is coming from China, you're not gonna be able to erase that from history.
No,
you're not. Well, look. That's why they keep talking about, see, that's the good thing. See, that's one thing you got to think about that. Him keep saying, that's why I be like, well, what's wrong with him saying that? Because they said the Ebola virus came from Africa all the time. Mm-hmm. You're never going to be able to erase a soundbite of the president of the United States calling this the China virus. There's no way you're going to be able to spin. That's why they done kind of got off of that black shit.
Well,
that's why they talk about now.
What you're saying is true, but what I'm trying to say is some of the dynamics have changed, and they are still using it. And the dynamics that have changed, something Lisa been saying about for the longest, having the internet has been our saving grace, where we can expose this shit, because they were able to, bury that, and we, folks is doing videos everywhere like, oh hell no.
Yeah.
You can't accept that.
But even the Chinese, they say it started with us. They just saying we the ones spreading it over there in China. That is the argument. Now, that is the thing that I want to get rid of. That we the ones most likely catching it, and we the ones spreading it. Mm-hmm. Well, it don't make sense. Well, all across the world, the rest of the black people that's not in America not catching it. Mm-hmm. Then you come here in America, but black people here catching it. Why? Because they going out of their way to make sure you catch it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. They are. That's how it works.
When we first started hearing about coronavirus, I heard this on Democracy Now. This biologist was speaking, and she was talking about, the next few months, Africa is just going to have just droves of people dying, and we're going to have to get prepared to go over there and all of that. Africa has not asked for no help at all.
Exactly.
In fact, they are helping other countries and stuff. And this is something that I found out listening to Farrakhan in regards to the governor in Florida. He doesn't want those Cuban doctors to come over and help. Them Cuban doctors are going over in Europe and all to these other countries, but this country, because of their isms, is digging their heels in and stuff. But we also know they want to come up with that unquote vaccine so they can start making money too as well. They're trying to push that real quick too as well.
They need to do is put that white man that they had on CNN on earlier today. They done caught the coronavirus twice. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. He caught it in March, fought it off. He was in the hospital. Then caught it. Now he got it again. He caught it June 24th. They said he tested negative twice after he got rid of it the first time. Now he positive again.
Yeah, you see that there in Atlanta, the look on her face. She got it. And then I was thinking about Herman Cain. He was bitching about coronavirus. He didn't want to hear about all that. His ass end up with it and stuff. You see, be playing too much, going around.
But hold on, Chiro. Hold on. This is why they need to keep what finished about that white man. This is why that white man need to be on TV. So the white man then damn near died the first time. Now he got it. His wife got it, right? Everybody's sick. He said he got a son that's a Trump supporter that still believes it's hoax.
Damn.
Yeah, he said, imagine Texas white dude. He said, I know it's political. Now, and you could tell he was a redneck before he caught the coronavirus, and they saved him. They said they saved him. He almost died. The motherfucker had a pulmonary like aneurysm basically, and they had to do surgery and help him because he almost died the first time. They said this motherfucker, this dude come on CNN. And I'm a big country boy, man. I'm scared. You got to take this serious. And the lady said, Good boy would say, and I heard you got a son who still think there's a hope. Motherfucker said, yeah. She said, even after you almost died, I don't know what's wrong with him. This is the mind of the white supremacists. They don't care about their parents, son.
Yeah, they had that insurance. They ready to cash out.
That's fucked up, True. You think that's what that is?
You know they don't care. They don't care. You know, white folks. You know they got enough of them shows. I call them kill, murder, die shows. My husband always watching them. It's always policy involved.
I call them murder porn.
White on white crime.
Look, I was watching one when the show came on. When I came home, I was watching one. I love white on white crime. It's beautiful.
And they always throwing up the black on black crime in our face. And you got all them shows, Kill Thy Neighbor.
I'm about to walk right. With a deadly women. What else?
They got a string of programs like that. And I said, there's your white on white crime right there. And they profiting from the shit. Up in suburbia, how they be killing each other off. There's a bunch of shit popping off.
And look, all classes of people. See, this is one thing I want you to understand about us. When it comes to black murder, it's among a certain class of people. You don't find a lot of middle class and rich black murderers. They got millions of stories of motherfucking white people murdering each other with money. Millions. They had a murder porn show about that.
Well, look, you had Jake Paul go out and loot, and he's a millionaire.
Right. Thank you, Lisa. Andrew Conanigan, Lisa. What about the motherfucker from the Luster Silk, Andrew Luster? Andrew Luster from the cosmetic joint. Rich, run around drugging and raping and come on, y'all. Amongst that, we can say, all right, look, when it comes to crime with us, it's normally poor people doing that shit. The poorest of the poor, feeling like they got nothing to lose. What's y'all excuse? What's y'all? That's a good excuse. Hunger gives you a different type of courage. We can all admit that. But when you got everything and you still doing that, what does that say?
Entitlement.
Yep.
That's how I look at it. You know.
Right.
You know.
But yeah, sis, I'm going to wrap this up, True World. Thank you for showing up on it. I'm going to wrap this up.
All right. Let me get on off.
I love y'all. Thank y'all for showing up on me.
All right, LVZ.
Lisa, let me know the next joint you want. Just tell me what time it is so my crazy ass don't fall asleep.
Don't worry about it. Okay. Take care. Bye, everybody.
Y'all, we out. Ain't this a bitch? My dumb ass forgot how to close the live out. right, y'all. One love. Peace, y'all.